Let's get nasty on a Wednesday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Jamie Rivers still off throughout the week as he enjoys some time off. Blues are back practicing, but Jamie, of course, will be back at next week. Last night was supposed to be pretty comfortable win for SLU as they took on a Rhode Island team that had just lost at home to Fordham. Yet a SLU team that hadn't lost since Black Friday, ranked 18th nationally, fell to Rhode Island in a very frustrating game. Of course, SLU going in 24-1. Now they're 24-2. Rhode Island team that ranked 111th on KenPom, and like I said, had just lost at home to Fordham. And guys, I don't know what you thought, but I thought the two biggest issues that SLU faced last night, one, Rhode Island shot 41% from three. And Jonah Hinton scored 29 points, 9 3-pointers. The kid couldn't miss. So that was one aspect of it. But you're not going to win many games in which you commit 18 turnovers. That's what I was going to say. I was listening to the first half in the car, and the amount of turnovers that they were having in the first half, it seemed like it was going to be problematic for SLU. And obviously, you've had such a great winning streak. You are, pretty dominating faces. You're averaging 90 points a game. And last night, you turned the ball over too many times, and you don't get to that point number that you've been getting to all season. So you couple those things in that environment, things just kind of went bad for SLU.
Yeah, 20 points off turnovers for Rhode Island in that first half, and SLU only had 5. So that first half sort of set the table for what the rest of the game was going to be. I did feel, though, at halftime, I'm like, okay, SLU's losing this game right now, but I feel comfortable. They're going to find their game here in the second half. But it seemed like the way that they played the first half, that really translated into what happened in the second half. And some people, a little upset with some of the officiating, maybe going one way instead of the other, which is understandable. That's just the fan in all of us, right? Yeah. But overall, I thought it was a sloppy game from SLU, and I blame us. I wore the shirt yesterday. You said it was going to be an easy win.
I did, yeah.
So I blame us.
I
blame you.
I had the under and bet the board.
You did.
Mm-hmm. And
that
the texter
told you.
He warned me.
That's a
terrible bet.
Yeah, it's a crap place.
Team total, a lock. No. Anytime you say anything's a lock,
it
ain't.
Welcome to the wonderful world of betting. SLU committing 18 turnovers overall. Rhode Island turned them in at 28 points. That's a massive swing in a 5-point game. It really boils down to that.
Yeah.
And SLU typically wins because they value possessions. They do such a great job running an efficient offense. They don't give away easy points. They don't give away easy buckets. And it was the exact opposite last night. Robbie Avila still did his job. Deion Brown still did his job. They combined for 40 points, 5 combined steals. They played well enough to get a win. The other issue, I'm not saying this is the main problem, but one of the problems, inconsistent shooting elsewhere. And this is a team. The only reason I bring this up is because last night was the exact opposite of how SLU had been winning. We've talked about the balanced offenses. While Avila is the main offensive cog, he's just one guy in an offense that is pretty balanced. They had defensive breakdowns last night. Again, the sloppiness that March just pointed out. When you have two guys that combine for 40 points and you still lose, other things have happened. Now, go ahead.
I was going to ask you. No. Go ahead. I was going to ask, what does this mean moving forward?
There you go.
We're same brain, man.
Absolutely.
Same brain, man.
Yeah, we were born almost the same day.
Kind of
1 year apart.
Yep.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Brothers.
Definitely.
Exactly. Yep.
What does it mean for SLU going forward?
Okay, so let's break this down. The timing isn't great.
It's terrible.
The remaining schedule includes. I was being nice.
Let's not sugarcoat it, man.
Let's not sugarcoat this thing.
Let's be honest. Rhode Island is 15-11, man.
Yeah.
They're 6-7 in conference. This is a bad loss.
Oh,
I understand that it's on the road, and I'm not saying the sky is falling, but we had this conversation last week where we said, well, what does SLU need to do to make sure that they are in the tournament? You got to win the rest of your games, win the A-10 tournament, you're good. You could probably lose in the finals of the A-10 tournament because, and granted, they still can win the A-10 tournament and get the beat.
Everything's still well ahead of them.
Everything is still there. But what does this mean?
Okay, so again, the timing is terrible. We'll just
Thank you.
let me rephrase it. The remaining schedule includes VCU, Dayton, and George Mason, all top-tier A-10 opponents. Before that loss last night, SLU looked like it might cruise into March with total confidence. After last night, margin of error shrinks, seeding implications grow, momentum suddenly feels a little fragile, right? I don't think the sky is falling because you lost one game, but it does matter what you do moving forward. And I do believe that coming off this loss, there will be plenty of learning moments, and good teams often, when they get punched in the mouth, they know how to respond. So I think that I do have confidence in the coaching staff and these players specifically to show up in their next game against VCU with grit. The things that they need to fix immediately before a brush fire turns into, the whole forest is on fire. Perimeter defense, having restructure the discipline there. Ball security, obviously, if you have 18 turnovers. They need a lot more out of the bench now moving forward. And I think, just having that composure on it late in games on the road is vital, because you're going to be playing a lot of neutral site games beyond the regular season. I still think, though, that you control your own destiny because the conference is well within your grasp. You still have quality wins, and you're still 24-2. I don't think we need to talk about this as being some sort of disaster.
It's not a disaster, but I think you're putting yourself in a situation where you have to win the A-10 tournament. I don't think you can lose the A-10 tournament. And that's just they're a very, very good team. And I don't want to make it seem like one loss is the sky is falling. Mm-hmm. But you're in a conference where, when you're weighing out other conferences and other teams that may be more, that may be better than your conference, and teams in other conferences that may be better.
You don't want to have that discussion.
You don't want to have the conversation.
Right.
Don't let the committee decide.
Right.
Please, the Big Ten is full of talent. I mean, that conference. Hell, Wisconsin just lost last night to Ohio State, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't watch the end of it, but they were getting the hell beat out of them.
Yeah.
So
not as bad of a night as UCLA, but still.
Nah, UCLA had that was a whole. Mick Cronin had some
issues, man.
Yeah, man, I didn't like that. But you don't want to have that conversation of, well, on a neutral site, I mean, who's beating who?
Right.
Do you think SLU is going to beat Team X from this conference? You don't want to have those conversations. One loss, reset. Maybe they got it out of the way. I think that might be the best part about it. Maybe you got it out of your system. Mm-hmm. And now you can go finish the season, finish the A-10 tournament, and put together a run for the tournament, for the big tournament.
I agree.
I wanted to ask you, Carey, because obviously, you played at the highest level in football. Did you guys ever have a bad loss towards the end of the season that made you sort of take a step back and be like, okay, we need to reset ourselves, and now we know what we have to do in order to find success later in the season?
I'm pretty sure we lost to Tennessee at Tennessee later in the season. And we ended up being the 2 seed. They ended up being the 1 seed. That was a pretty bad loss, and it wasn't a good. It was a bad loss. Mm-hmm. It wasn't good. It didn't look good. It didn't feel good. We lost to Tennessee the second to last week of the season, and so that made us 11-4. We went on and beat the Browns the final week, and that essentially made us the 2 seed instead of the 1 seed. That was a bad loss, but it wasn't. We still had a bye at that time. There were only the first 2 seeds had a bye, so we still had a bye. So we kind of looked at it that way. But I'll speak for me. I was thankful that Baltimore went into Tennessee and beat the hell out of them in the divisional round, because I don't think we wanted to go back to Tennessee. Mm-hmm. Just based off of how we performed the week before, a couple of weeks before, we lost 31-14. Mm-hmm. So, and honestly, I don't think it was that close. So, yeah, yes, it can happen. You can have a bad loss and reset and rebound and be ready to play, in the coming weeks when the playoffs begin.
There's plenty. I think there's plenty of examples of that. You just illustrated one from your career, CD. Of course, Blues fans all know what you did in Game 6 here.
Yeah, the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, the Stanley Cup run. The Game 6 was an absolute disaster. It's like, okay, now you got to go on the road and play Game 7 in Boston. And I know there's some confidence because the way the Blues were playing on the road that year, but still. You played arguably the worst game of your postseason, and you still were able to collect yourselves, go to Boston, and win. So I don't think that this has to be some sort of warning, some sort of season-altering disaster. I just think it's a bit of a warning shot.
Yeah, like sometimes you need a little slap in the face to wake you up a little bit, just to remind you, hey,
you're alive.
We're alive.
I don't want to get slapped in the face to know I'm alive.
Well, sometimes it happens. CD, nothing you can do.
I prefer not to. Don't slap me, man. I'm awake.
Some people, they get one slap a year. We established that a long time ago.
We did establish that, but that was based on if you deserved it. You could give out one slap, but if you're the slap-e and not the slapper, that speaks volumes to who you are as a person. Because if somebody got only one slap a year and they dedicate that slap to your ass, you need to do some reevaluating.
Some soul searching. Well, either you or them, right?
That's probably you.
Yeah,
I'm not wasting my one slap on nothing.
Somebody that doesn't deserve it. Yeah.
You if you're the slap-e in that scenario, your one slap a year scenario, and somebody decides to slap you, just saying.
Yeah, good call.
And here's the thing: you might be the person that's getting slapped. You might get slapped 5 times that year.
Well, you better really.
I'm just saying.
That requires some big time soul searching.
You gotta go do some.
Yeah. Anybody that's at least self aware, just a little bit, would
After the third slap, you would think.
Look at something in the mirror. You're like, what am I doing here? Yeah. I got slapped 5 times.
And they can only get one a year, and they're using them all on me.
Yeah.
Damn.
Rhode Island used their slap last night.
Yeah, they did.
They slapped the hell out of Slew.
No, I mean.
They slapped him.
They slapped him. Slew was sloppy.
They were.
Yeah. I
mean, rebound.
Might be a wake-up call.
Yeah, absolutely. And then one kid, Hinton had a career night. He was great. The Cardinals made a waiver claim on Monday that probably went under the radar, but I think Jeff Jones, who covers the Cardinals for the Belleville News-Democrat, really made a strong point about how moves like that are a strong indication that Bloom is going to be way more aggressive with the roster than his predecessor. That's next on 101 ESPN.
FanDuel just handed you the tool that makes every college hoops parlay worth more, the Boost Builder. Here's the deal. You get a Boost Builder to use on any 2-leg parlay, college basketball parlay. Start building your combo, add one leg, add another, because every leg you add increases your boost all the way up to 105%. You decide how far you want to take it. You know I love the Big Ten. You know I love watching that group of guys play basketball, and they've been playing outstanding. Choose one of those games and go from there. Just open the FanDuel app, choose your college hoops market, apply your Boost Builder token, and watch that percentage climb with every pick you lock in. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. 21 plus and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Minimum 2-leg parlay required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable Boost Builder tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
highly recommend Jeff Jones' latest article for the Belleville Democrat. I thought what he outlined following the Cardinals waiver claim of Zak Kent was really astute. So Zak Kent, you may not recognize the name outside of the fact that he's the Cardinals. He's the player that the Cardinals just acquired. No, he's
Jeff's
not.
brother.
I don't think so.
Clark's brother.
No, I don't think so. Nope. I think no relation to Superman or Jeff Kent.
Okay.
Yeah. Big picture, though. This isn't about Zak Kent. Big picture, and again, Jeff Jones illustrated this. This sort of move is about the shift from John Mozeliak to Chaim Bloom and what it means for how the Cardinals will operate moving forward. One of the biggest frustrations I had with Mo, was not a lack of spending. I put that on the DeWitts. One of my biggest frustrations with Mo was his conservative tendencies. I thought he was hyper-conservative with his decision-making, his moves. I thought that he preferred risk-averse moves as opposed to knowing that now is the time to take an educated risk, one that could pay off dividends. I thought he was ultra-conservative. Minimum waiver activity out of Mo as well, and the roster largely stayed static. I don't mind that he kept a lot of things in-house, loyalty to players that work their way up. But when you're not using the bottom of the roster to your advantage, you're not finding ways to win in the margins. And Bloom has already demonstrated in a short period of time that he will use the bottom of the 40-man roster to create slight advantages for his club. We're talking about an aggressive churn, willingness to cycle through those last few spots, treats the waiver wire like a tool and not an afterthought. Mm-hmm. Zak Kent, they've acquired him twice now. One was in December, and then they acquired him via waiver on Monday. They also traded for Jorge Soriano, after repeatedly losing waiver claims due to priority order. So this is another player that he was highly sought after. But with Kent, he's got multiple options. So this isn't a situation where you get later in the year or mid-season and you're Ollie Marmol and you're looking down at your bullpen and there are guys that do not have options anymore.
Right.
And therefore you're having to manage those arms without much help from the minors coming up. This is where Bloom, I think, really this is what presidents of baseball operations and general managers of CD they got to do.
It's what they should be doing.
It's what they should be doing throughout. Yeah. And it's kind of an uncomfortable thing because you're talking about human beings here.
Yeah.
But ultimately, from a business standpoint, from a baseball standpoint, you're looking at these players as assets. Mm-hmm. And somebody like Zak Kent that has multiple options and is a pitcher, that asset means more, holds more value than somebody that has run through his options, limited ceiling, and you left them on the roster. So now Ollie's got limited options.
So basically, and to try to, I guess, put a bow on it, what Chaim Bloom is doing now with these 40-man roster options is instead of, oh, you're on the roster, I can't send you down to the minors because you're past your option number of years. You've run out of times that you can be optioned down, which means in order for me, I either have to play you or I have to cut you. I have to waive you and hope that you pass through waivers and nobody else picks you up. Whereas now he's saying, I'm going to be able to have the flexibility of bringing guys up and down. And not only that, you don't have to put anybody currently on the IL to bring them up because now I have this option availability to move guys to and fro from the minors into the pro team. So I think it is a great thing. I think it makes a lot of sense. And to your point about, there being human beings, as an athlete, you understand that.
Yeah.
You understand that your job is to make it so they can't or don't want to option you back down because why? You playing so damn well. Mm-hmm. That's your job as an athlete. It's not to dictate whether or not I have I actually think having the flexibility makes a lot of sense because I'm still on the team. I didn't think that when I was playing like early in my career, but I had to learn that practice squad is better than no squad.
True.
Because I've done both.
Yeah.
So practice squad is essentially sitting down to the minors. You're still in the organization, you practice, except for you're with the team in the NFL. You're still with the team, you're practicing, you're doing all those things. You just don't get to play on Sunday.
Right.
Or Monday or Thursday or ever. Yeah, you just play
Wednesday.
Or Wednesday if it's never know. So your job as a player is to make sure that they don't want to send you back and forth. But as an organization, you do have to have that flexibility when guys get tired. Maybe a guy just needs a day and not to be put on the IL. You give him a day because you can bring somebody up to kind of fill that void. So I think it does make a lot of sense, and I think that this is part of one of the hampering things that Ali and his staff went through last year, just not having enough options in terms of who they could send down and who they could bring up.
Yep.
How much do you think Chaim Bloom, I don't want to say exposes, but I guess I'll say it. How much does Chaim Bloom and what he does this season, how much do you think it could expose the flaws that John Mozeliak had?
One of the things that I thought as I was reading through Jeff Jones's article was Mo. I wonder if Mo just got kind of bored with the job. And look, I don't know. Okay, and this might be incredibly unfair, but we've all been there in our lives where there's certain points where you're like, man, I keep doing this. It's the same thing over, and you have to find new ways to challenge yourself. Right? We love our jobs. Talking about the same thing over and over and over again. We're just like any human being. You get to the point where you're like, holy smokes, I don't have another opinion on this.
Right.
I've got no passion left for it. But you have to find new ways to challenge yourself, new way to look at something. And I wonder if Mo just kind of got bored toward the end. He's like, I'm not doing that thing where I've got to figure out how to manipulate the roster and whatever. I'm in year 20-something. I'm good. That's what I thought about. So you use the word expose. And
it's a harsh word.
Maybe it's harsh, but I also think it's fair. Because why haven't you been doing that? Is it just flat out loyalty? Somebody that came up through the minor league system. One, I want to make sure that I reward that player. But two, I also don't want to dump that player because I invested so much time in him. Well, now you're getting into the sunken cost fallacy. You've already spent the time. Time's up. If that player is no longer useful on your 40-man roster, then it's up to you as the GM or the president to move on. And I do think that there was a lot of loyalty to the internal guys. There was minimal waiver churn, stable 40-man roster, but stable to the point where it wound up handcuffing you. And I think the criticism from fans from the previous front office, too passive, missed margins, slow to really modernize from a training development standpoint, and also on the big league roster, these are all the things that, yes, Marsh, are being exposed now by Bloom.
We get a text from the 314. Wow, is it that slow of a sports week that we praise a GM for claiming a pitcher no other team wants?
Well, we can talk about the NFL. That pissed you off, too?
We think we should talk about
the NFL. We got
a
text yesterday that said the NFL is over.
And I said it's never over. What are you talking about?
Freedom Friday comes up, let's see here.
2 weeks.
2 weeks from now? Yeah.
Well, maybe it's next week.
Yeah.
Next week.
And listen, I'm not
it
being...
It is next week, yeah. It's a short month.
Hey, I promise you I'm not being flippant when I say this. You're missing the point. I led off the segment saying this isn't about claiming a player. It is the much bigger discussion about what the front office looks like now. So if you're going to bitch and moan constantly about John Mozeliak and what he was doing or whatever, and you're simply just going to say, he didn't spend enough, you're missing it. So, with all due respect.
And I mean with all due respect.
And I mean it. Much bigger discussion there. But yeah, we can move on.
What are you moving on to, Anthony?
Who knows? There's no sports right now. I mean, really.
You got hockey?
We have the Olympics.
Hockey. Let's get an Olympic update from our guy Marsh with what's trending next on 101 ESPN. Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, block parties, they're all back with Underdog because the NBA is going to get revving to go here. I think the action, second half action starts tomorrow night. Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action when it comes to the NBA because you can make entries and win money right now in Missouri. And playing on Underdog not only is it easy, it's super fun. Choose whether or not certain players are going to go higher or lower on their stats. Higher on points, lower on points. Higher on assists, lower on steals. However you want to build it, build your entry, you can do so at Underdog. And when you're playing an Underdog, you don't have to just stick with one game either. So some of these other sites may require you to, it's just got to stick to this game. You don't have to stick to the same sport. You can take a player in an NBA matchup and match that player up with somebody that's in the National Hockey League and playing, or maybe one of the Olympic Games. How you want to play it, again, it's completely up to you. Get your entries right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So download the app today. Use my promo code Anthony at sign up to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, make sure you type in my first name, Anthony, at sign up when you head to Underdog, either on the website or when you download the app. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 18 or older and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets at underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit www.nsbgambling.org.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We opened the show talking about SLU basketball. They lost last night to Rhode Island by a final score of 81-76. If you missed that conversation, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you will find all of our interviews and all of our shows there, and it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. Speaking of interviews, we'll talk with Mike Claiborne at 3:15 and Joe Vitale at 5:15. But coming up next, we're going to dive into what's trending with an update on the Olympics. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
What are the hot topics in the sports world?
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Here's what's trending.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it is time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, the quarterfinal round has been unbelievable for men's hockey. Let's go over some of the games real quick. Slovakia, a 6-2 winner over Germany. And shout out to Dalibor Dvorsky, 6 points in the tournament. It is the most ever by an NHL rookie in a single Olympic tournament. It is also the most by any St. Louis Blues player in a single Olympic tournament. So shout out to Dalibor Dvorsky.
Man, he's having a year, isn't he?
Man, it's just a great tournament for him. They're moving on to the semis. Canada takes down Czechia 4-3 in overtime. Benner ends up stopping 21 of 24. A crazy ending to that game. And then Finland comes back to beat Switzerland 3-2. So they're moving on. And currently the United States is taking on Sweden. Let's say the United States wins. They'll take on Slovakia. And Canada will go up against Finland. If Sweden ends up winning, those matchups will look a little bit different. But we're hoping that the boys in the red, white, and blue can come out victorious. I got to say, for those that have thought this tournament so far has been slightly boring, I feel like today has made up for that.
100%. That Canada game from about 7 minutes on was outstanding. So Canada had lost the lead. It was tied up 2-2. They lost the lead. They fell behind 3-2. Marsh, you had noted to me, I saw the play, but I didn't realize they had 6 men on the ice.
Yeah. They got away with it.
So you got away with having 6 men on the ice, and you get past Bennington. Then there was a slight breakaway. It wasn't an open breakaway. It was like one-on-one, but there was the forward had a step on the Canadian player.
Yeah, under 2 to go in the third. And
Benner made an outstanding save to keep the score where it was. Canada obviously tied it, and then they won in overtime. But I thought that game was thrilling. I got to be honest, like I do want to see Canada USA. Part of me was rooting against Canada, though. I'm like, we can just get you out.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily hate that either.
It was like you hate to see it kind of mindset.
When it was tied 2-2, I started to feel the pull.
Yeah.
Rooting against Canada, but I know Jamie, who had texted us in the group thread, he was fired up for his Canadians, and I don't blame him. But you're right, Marsh. If you have not liked the tournament, you haven't enjoyed the tournament necessarily, you've thought that it has been lackluster, we're starting to see the better teams play, and the single elimination has been really fun to watch.
I mean, it's a great experience for all the players that are, St. Louis Blues players that are in the Olympics. Dalibor Dvorsky, as you mentioned, performing extremely well. I think that's going to just boost his confidence when he comes back to play regular season hockey. It's something about being around the best players in the world and having success. I've told you all time and time again that, your confidence. It's not about playing ability. At this level, at this point, once you make it to the NHL, everyone has playing ability. They all are talented. The thing that starts to separate you, and some people are more talented than others, but once you start having that confidence to be able to do all of the things you've been doing your entire life, it's like a light bulb goes off. You're like, oh, crap, I can do it here, too.
This is sweet.
Like, wow, I could do it when I was a kid. I could do it, in different levels all the way up, but I can actually do it here, too.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it just unlocks something. So I think that's really cool for him. And with you, Marshy, USA. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anthony?
Yeah.
I mean, you're Italians. They fought hard.
I tried.
They fought hard.
Yep.
Didn't get it done, but Now your other team is out. You still got one left, brother.
Yeah, damn right I do.
Yeah.
USA, USA, USA.
Has not beaten Sweden since
Whoa,
1960
I don't like
in the
that.
Olympics, but things could change today. I expect them to. Obviously, we're not going to give out the updates for the people that can't catch the game right now for whatever reason. That's been a thing that we have been doing since the games have started. But going back to your comment about Canada, and I was thinking the same thing, part of me was like, that'd be kind of sweet if they were knocked out. But at the end of the day, as a hockey fan, I want to see Canada take on the United States for the gold medal.
Yeah, me too. Ultimately, if they lost today, I don't think I'd be crying. But
I wouldn't be crying, but
ultimately, that is the matchup. That's the clash.
It would be a shame.
The gold medal matchup. Got to get past these dudes first, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be rooting for Slovakia, unless they play the United States, of course.
Yeah.
Like, they'll be my team. If the United States
falters?
Yes.
Okay. Well, first of all, shut your mouth. Second of all, okay. All right, no problem.
Just saying. The women's team will compete against Canada for the gold medal tomorrow, and I am 100%. My mindset is this team will probably blow out Canada.
Mm-hmm. This is like the
best women's team ever.
This has been a absolute monster. The U.S. women's hockey team has been outstanding.
They have been. They have been.
I mean, the scoring ability,
the not allowing any scoring,
defensively, the goaltending, their physicality throughout. I mean, you talk about pure domination. This women's U.S. hockey team's been great. You guys been watching anything else? Curling? Speed skating? No? Why not? You guys love the Olympics, remember?
I'm a Summer Olympics kind of guy.
Okay.
I mean, you know,
but these athletes have been training for 4 straight years.
They have been,
for these
and
2
kudos.
weeks,
Kudos.
And you're not paying attention to it.
No, I pay attention to the Summer Olympics. It's a little warmer outside.
So, Carey,
it's a little different.
It's funny you bring that up, because I've been seeing rumblings on the interwebs, on the line.
Yeah.
There's people out there that believe that basketball should be in the Winter Olympics and not the Summer Olympics. Do you agree with that?
I don't agree with that. That is an intriguing. No, because you would have to do what hockey's doing. You'd have to stop the season and let guys go compete in the Olympics, if that were the case. I don't think the NBA wants that. I think the NBA would much rather have them, revving up in the summertime before their season starts, kind of, enjoying your off season to a degree and easing into the Summer Olympics. I don't need to see basketball in the Winter Olympics. Just me personally. Nah. Keep it in the summer.
This has nothing to do with the Olympics, but I think it is a fascinating question from the 618, and we've been talking about Major League Baseball's lockout, so the 618 chimes in. I have a wild thought here. When the MLB lockout happened in 94-95, it killed the Expos. Do you see this as even remotely a possibility with teams like Miami, Tampa, Pittsburgh? I know it's a stretch, but I don't know, man.
I don't know if it's a stretch. The first team that when posed that question that popped into my head, I'm sure did for you guys too, is Tampa. Because Tampa's been that team that has had issues. Are they going to be able to? Obviously, their home stadium and stuff that's different. That's a natural disaster.
They don't play in Tampa.
I know, but
It's a difference.
playing St. Pete.
St.
Right?
Pete.
Yep. But I've had those questions, those reports that maybe they play some of their home games in Montreal and all. I could see that. Are the Rays the poorest organization in baseball? At least
Have you
When you
seen
say
without-
stadium, when you
without
say
opening the
porous,
books.
I don't think. What do you mean by that?
Anthony, they play in a circus tent.
That doesn't mean they're poor. That just mean they're cheap. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Frugal.
Cheap.
They would say frugal.
I would say cheap.
I don't blame you. But yeah, no, I don't think that's a wild. I don't think that's a wild thought at all.
The 618, a different 618, brings up the Expos were around another 10 years after the strike. I don't think there was a connection necessarily.
Marcia, I went back to this goal. And how the hell do you get 6 men on the ice and nobody says anything?
It's a great question.
Is there not instant replay? Do they not have? Can you not challenge that in hockey?
I don't think.
Like if I got, so. It was 6 guys on defense and then it turned into an odd man rush. Like we got to figure that out. Like they got more guys. Even when the goal was scored, what did the guy skate off really quickly?
I don't know.
Like,
I think they're all out there. I don't know.
How the hell doesn't anybody see that there are 6 people and it's harder to score when they got more people than we do? And then they take off. Fast break.
I'm not too sure.
Basketball style.
Again, it would have been a you hate to see it moment if,
right.
They would have lost.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh, the world, Canada would have, it would have been bad, man.
It would have been very bad. Would have been very bad.
This is really bad.
And unfortunately, the person that most of that entire country would blame it on would probably be Jordan Bennington.
Yeah, probably. Come on, man. But that's just how it goes.
But that's a what-if scenario, right? Because they won.
They won. Don't have to worry about it. All right. We talked a little bit about Mark Cuban yesterday and some of the thoughts he had on tanking. Well, he's got a new way of drafting that I'm really interested to hear CD's take on this because it would make things interesting around the draft. I don't know if I like it, though. That's next on 101 ESPN. When was the last time you went to the Missouri Valley Conference men's basketball tournament, the Arch Madness tournament at Enterprise? It's held every year here in St. Louis. It has become a St. Louis tradition. When was the last time you went? If you've never been, you got to take the family. March 5th through the 8th, they got the tournament going on, so March 5th is the first round. The 8th would be the championship game. Last 36 years, the tournament been held right here in St. Louis. We're talking about 5 decades of great college basketball tournament action, and we've got a great offer as well. If you want to take the family down to the Enterprise Center, maybe get a couple buddies together, whatever. Family Fun Pack presented by 101 ESPN. 4 tickets, 4 sodas, 4 popcorns for only $105. That's it. Head down to the Enterprise Center. Take part in one of the great St. Louis traditions that's annually here. The Missouri Valley teams, I enjoy watching Belmont play, but maybe you're a grad of Missouri State or Bradley or Illinois State. Check out the Arch Madness tournament again, March 5th through the 8th. That family fun pack presented by 101 ESPN. 4 tickets, 4 sodas, 4 popcorns. You can get it now at archmadness.com. Fastline on 101 ESPN. If you're looking for any sort of updates on the U.S. men's hockey team, we have already stated that we won't be giving those out. So anytime the U.S. men's hockey team is playing throughout our show, we're not going to be handing out updates. We made a promise to you, the listener. And by God, guys, we're going to honor that. Mm-hmm. All right? Mm-hmm. So don't tick us off. Right, Marsh?
No, we don't want to be ticked off.
All right. A New Way to Draft in the NBA by Mark Cuban. We talked a little bit about him yesterday because he said, you know what? The tanking thing in the NBA, fans will understand because that's how you get better. Well, he went on another diatribe on X talking about how the NBA could turn to the draft and turn it into free agency. You can have a rookie cap that is, rookie cap room that's decided by the record of the teams. Teams with the worst record has most money, et cetera. Teams that has the best record obviously would have the least amount of money. Teams can recruit players with the rookie cap room, and players can sign wherever, but they have to take pay cuts in order to do so. Now, this is something apparently he suggested to the NBA when he first came into the league. I don't know if I like this.
It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how that change. How do you draft though? Because he's talking about, if I'm reading it correctly, like you're using that money, you get the most amount of money, and then you get to select whichever player you want, but that player has to want to go to you as well.
Right.
If you're the worst team in the league, who the hell wants to play for that team?
Right.
Well, you make the most money, though.
You could make the most money, but now you're getting a player that obviously is solely there for the money. Which, okay, but
I don't know.
I mean, you can wind up with the best. You can wind up with the best player that's willing to take the least amount of money. How is that going to
equal itself out?
Yeah, from a competitive balance standpoint.
I don't think it does. I don't think it changes anything for the NBA in terms of, because Cooper Flag, first overall, well, he's the first overall pick last year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct.
He went to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's say that was the Washington Wizards that had the most cap money.
Mm-hmm.
See, you think Cooper Flag wants to go there?
No.
I don't think he does. Like, the Washington Wizards stink, and they have stunk for a number of years. Mm-hmm. So I understand how the draft is beneficial and how tanking can help. I don't think that this would be the best way to go about it, because you're still not getting – you're still not a fair trade-off for the bad teams. Like, you shouldn't be allowed to tank and be rewarded for it, but you shouldn't – this idea of having the most money and I get to select which player, but he has to select me as well. Yeah. You'll have the bottom barrel team still being at the bottom, in my opinion.
The only thing I could see it helping is some of the mid-range teams. Mm-hmm. If you're Cooper Flag, you don't want to go to the Wizards.
Right.
You don't want to go to the worst team. You're not going to get paid that much if you try to go to one of the better teams. Plus, you might not have an avenue to start right away. I mean, you probably would, but just follow along. If you're in the middle, though, you kind of get a combonation of both.
Yeah.
Get team that might be on the uprise,
decent enough to win
you get a
some
decent
games.
salary. Yeah. So that's the only thing I think it would help.
Well, then you also have to factor in the lottery, right? Like, in this system, do you have an NBA lottery? Like the Mavericks, they weren't the worst team in the league last year, but they wound up with the first overall pick.
Right. I don't know. He says since tanking is getting everyone's attention back in the day, when we were winning 50 games every year and never got a good pick, here's what I floated. Make the draft more like free agency, except the worst record gets the salary slotted to the first draft pick. The next worst record gets the next amount, etc. Then the teams recruit players with their rookie cap room. The team with the worst record has the most money, but if their organization is terrible, the best players don't like their coach, etc., whatever, they can take less money and go to a different team. The second round stays the same. Got shot down quickly, he said. Separately, I always advocated for 4 rounds in the draft. One of the dumbest things that happens during the draft, particularly now with two-way contracts, is that when the draft hits about 45 and players have fallen much further than expected, the phone lights up with calls from agents telling those with remaining picks do not draft their player.
Yeah.
They would prefer to pick the team they want. And that's one of the advantages, of course, to any, you were an undrafted free agent.
Being undrafted.
You can choose. It sucks not to get drafted. drafted, but
Yeah.
you start to get phone calls about the 7th round, right?
Yeah, you can
maybe
start,
the 6th.
and you can start picking and deciding what teams you want to go to. If you have multiple options, if you have multiple calls coming in, you can pick the best fit for you.
Sure.
So yeah, if you're on that board, I personally always would want to be drafted. Like, and I get it. It's kind of like the end of the draft in the NFL. If you're going to be Mr. Irrelevant, or you're going to be the next player that would have been drafted and you go undrafted, you might want to go undrafted because you can pick the best situation. When I was going through my draft process, we wrote down every team in the league and gave them grades from A to F. Mm-hmm. And the Indianapolis Colts were an A-. The New York Giants were an A+. Those were the two teams that called me right after the draft. And the Colts called me first, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to Indianapolis. The Giants called me like 10 minutes after I got off the phone with the Colts. I was like, oh, damn it. Because it was actually a better fit. Mm-hmm. They had an A+, the Colts had an A-. The Colts hadn't used a fullback, really. The Giants did. And so, hindsight being 2020, it is what it is. But, yeah, you do have that option once you're undrafted. Or if you're Shedeur Sanders, you can tell the team, hey, you're solidified at that position, sir. I take my chances on somewhere else. Maybe I get a call, maybe I don't. And that was a risk for him.
Yeah.
He took a risk, and the Browns did call, but he could have gone undrafted and went to whatever team he wanted to. So it does happen.
You did mention you would rather be drafted, though. Is there a sense of security, though, for those players who have been drafted because teams are like, okay, well, if this guy is basically the same player as this guy, we have more draft capital in this player rather than the undrafted guy?
I think I would say yes, but that's not always true either.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
depends on the round, maybe.
Well, it depends on and it depends on the player. We drafted a player out of a school, and we brought in a player that was undrafted from the same school. They played the same position, and the undrafted player beat out the drafted player. Mm-hmm. So, and I think he was a 5th or 6th round draft pick, and his teammate was undrafted. So I think it has value to be drafted. Someone spent a draft pick on you. That means they valued you enough to say, I want you on my team. Mm-hmm. Whereas, in my opinion, a free agent they're calling everyone, hey, you want to join our team? Hey, you like us? You want to hit it? And they're trying to find who can fill that void. But I would have preferred to have been drafted as opposed to have to go the free agent route. So, but, to each his own. Basketball is obviously a little bit different.
Yeah, only 2 rounds.
Yeah.
That's Carey Davis. That's Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. It's the Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Ali had a funny exchange with a commenter on TMA earlier today. We'll play that for you and discuss whether or not Ali makes a good point. That's next at 101 ESPN. 6:01, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Earlier today, TMA had Ollie Marmol, Cardinals manager, on the show. And don't forget that all this week, the morning after, broadcasting live from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. daily from Cardinals spring training in Jupiter, Florida. TMA Live from spring training all week is brought to you by Healthcare Evolution. And if you can't catch them live, you can get caught up on all the interviews they've done this week, posted now at 101ESPN.com or the 101 app powered by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. But Ollie Marmol was, he was asked to respond to a comment made by either an email or texter. You'll hear Tim McKernan pose the question to Ollie, and then Ollie responds. This is interesting when Ollie was asked about why he failed with so many good players.
Marmol had top caliber players: Gray, Contreras, goalie, Arenado, Donovan, Burleson. He had talent. He got the bare minimum from him. That's some evil Calvin. All right, what are you going to say to that? Because you know he wanted to get you. There it is. He got it red. What are you going to say to something like that?
Hey, Calvin. You only listed one pitcher here, buddy. Okay? And you need 5 of them in a rotation to compete. So although you do have some hitters that are some big-name hitters, if you look at those years, we had trouble on the other side of the baseball at times, right? So
23.
You need to be able to defend the baseball well, but also pitch it well, and you need the combination of those things. So when you look at Milwaukee, some of the years that they had some really good bullpens, some really good starting rotation guys. So this is where it's easy to pinpoint and say you had these 4 position players. Why didn't the whole team do well? But there's more to it than that. So I appreciate the question for sure. But you're absolutely off on this.
So before I heard Ollie's response, guys, Marsh had played the audio for us in the office, and I just heard the listener had said. Yeah. I immediately thought, well, you only exactly what Ollie said. You only mentioned one pitcher. You only mentioned Sonny Gray. Ollie hasn't had the pitching thus far. Now, when you go back to when the Cardinals made the deal for Jose Quintana at the deadline the one year, and Ollie, a lot of people didn't like the fact that Ollie removed Quintana earlier in that game.
It didn't happen that way.
I know.
Like, the narrative of how that happened did not happen that way.
I agree. But a lot of people have pointed out, well, you had the pitching. You had the pitching. You had the pitching for 2 games. You have no idea how that was going to transpire the deeper you got into the postseason, even if you were going to get past Philadelphia, right? So a lot of people like to focus in on their office. Well, you had the pitching. You didn't. You're being short-sighted. In 2025, you know where the Cardinals ranked? And we'll just use ERA. We won't use any of the fancy stats.
That's my type, yeah. Meat and potato. Meat and potatoes kind of stats.
There you go.
Well, were they ranked in team ERA or starting pitcher?
Starting pitching.
In all of baseball?
In all of baseball.
27.
Marshy?
I will go with 29.
Carey wins this round. 25th. They're 25th in all of baseball in starting pitching ERA.
Now, remind me again, Anthony, how many teams are there in Major League Baseball?
There are 30, my good friend. 30 in Major League Baseball.
Right there to the bottom of the pack.
In 2024, you guys want to take a stab on where the Cardinals ranked starting ERA?
2024 was worse. I'm going to go 27 again.
I'm going to go with 22.
Marshy wins this one. They're 20th. 20th in starting pitching ERA in 2024. How about 2023?
2023. Ooh.
I'm going to go with 26.
Who's on that staff? 27's been the number. You know what? I'll go 25.
Marshy, dead on. 26.
Nice.
In starting pitching ERA in 2023. And we'll stop at 2022 because that was Ollie's first year. So
that was a playoff team, too.
That was a playoff team
on that team,
yeah.
Despite what,
good pitching.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so what was the number?
21.
We'll stop after this,
21.
is what I'm saying.
21. 21st.
In 2022, what was the number for ERA?
What was the rank?
I'll actually go with 17.
Marshy wins, 16th.
Damn, Marshall, you're pretty damn good at this.
Well, so a little spoiler here. I have
the
I have the runs against ranking on this little sheet right here.
So you knew
compared to
about
the runs scored. So based on based on these numbers, I can kind of calculate and do all the math. And
So he cheated.
He cheated.
He cheated.
He cheated.
Oh no! Come on, man.
He cheated by doing his homework.
He cheated.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right. So again, Ollie Marmol took over as the manager of the Cardinals in 2022. His best starting rotation, a playoff team, was 2022, and they were 16th. Now, Carey, you had asked me the question of how many teams are in Major League Baseball.
Yes.
I reminded you 30. 30 divided by 2 is?
15.
There you go. So not even a top half.
Yeah.
Not even a
not great.
top half team. That was his best rotation. From there, 26th, 20th, and 25th.
You know what I took away from that conversation, just hearing Ollie talk? I immediately felt like I was in the room with Ollie and Heim when Heim said, Ollie, what do you need? And Ollie said, pitching. And that seems to be what Heim Bloom has. He's, I don't want to say gone overboard because I don't think you can go overboard, but he has made sure that will not be an issue going forward. Like if you're talking, and he said it. I mean, you named a lot of great players, man. You named one pitcher. So if I only had one pitcher that you deem as an elite or really good player,
Yeah.
how are we gonna win? If your pitchers are giving up 6-7 runs every other night, it's hard to win games that way. So I think that he and Heim are on the same page. If that's the conversation that took place, which I would assume that is, when you're a general manager, president of baseball operations, the first thing you want to know is, where are you deficient? What do you think you need to win games? I need pitching, man, in the worst way. How can you help me with that? Gotcha. I'm going to draft 15 pitchers in this upcoming draft. I'm going to go trade for 15 more pitchers in somehow, some way, and we're going to make sure that you got more than you need. Done. So I think that's what took place.
So with all this being said, this conversation focuses around generating runs versus run prevention. And we all agree that pitching is the best way to prevent runs from scoring. Obviously, the Cardinals have had really good infielders throughout these years, right? They've had Gold Glove winners and whatnot. But I think that both Ollie and Evil Calvin, the listener that texted in, I think they both sort of have a point. Obviously, we just outlined Ollie's point. But if you look at, if we'll go back to 2023, if you look at the offense, because he named mostly guys who are hitting the baseball, not throwing the baseball. Offensively in 2023, they ranked 22nd in runs scored. They had a minus 110 run differential, but still 22nd, not good enough. 2024, their offense in runs scored, they had 672 runs scored. That's 22nd in Major League Baseball, not good enough. 2025, they ranked 19th in runs scored, not good enough. So the offense is still a problem and has been a problem. But yes, you could say that pitching ultimately has been the bigger problem, and it just goes to show all of it is a problem, and that is why we're here right now.
Right. It's right. Look, Marsh, I agree. It's run prevention. Ultimately, it's run prevention. It's your pitching. It's your defense. Offensively, have they been good enough? No, but certainly not to the point where they're going to carry anything.
But I think that can be skewed because if you're giving up, 3-4 runs in the first inning, as a pitching staff, as a pitcher, and you're not playing well, you're playing catch up the entire game. I would be intrigued to know how many games, that they started out where they had to come back and get back into those games. Because I think that's a different philosophy. I think your approach changes when you're I don't know that it should,
right? But
I think that it does. Naturally, you're in a more hurry up mode. We got to get runners on base. We got to, instead of having things happen, organically how they normally do.
Yeah.
If you're down in a game because your pitching isn't good, I think people start pressing a little bit more to try to make things happen.
I agree. Yeah. Which is why, it all comes back to you have to have a complete team. We sometimes I feel like we get talking about pitching, and people are like, oh, you don't have any offense either. Okay, yeah, we get it.
So, Evil Calvin, I can't stop saying that name. It's so funny.
You love it.
Evil Calvin posed the question, is it a fair question to ask, or is the lack of production on the players and not so much on Ollie Marmol getting the most out of them.
Say it again.
So the question was, how come Ollie couldn't get the most out of all of these players, all this talent that the Cardinals had?
Yeah.
Is that necessarily on him to get the most out of his players offensively from these veteran players? Is that on Ollie Marmol?
Quick question. Who won MVP in 2022?
Paul Goldschmidt.
Who finished third?
Nolan Arenado.
Okay, so the getting the most out of players, that to me is that's a null and void opinion, because if you have two players that finish in the top three in MVP voting, I think you do it. If you're, but then you'll say, well, he had nothing to do with it. Okay, cool. Then he had nothing to do when they don't perform well.
Right.
Like, you can't have it both ways.
Like Brendan Donovan. Does Ollie get zero credit for Brendan Donovan?
He didn't do anything with Brendan Donovan. But
right.
when Jordan Walker stinks, that's Ollie's fault.
That's Ollie's fault.
That's a dumbass take.
Yeah.
It's a dumbass take, man.
I agree.
Stop it. That makes no sense whatsoever. You give credit when the players perform well, and you should also give credit when they don't perform well, or don't do either. Like, if this player did it on his own, then guess what? That player that stinks did it on his own. We can live with that, and that's fine. So the notion that, well, how has he made them perform better? Yeah, 2022, Brendan Donovan, Alec Burleson. Like, you got plenty of players that you've shown throughout his course of being a manager that have took leaps. Ron Herrera, that have taken leaps and bounds from where they were to where they are now. So, yes. But if you're going to give him credit for those, then you can blame him for the other ones. But if you're going to just blame him for the other ones, you got to give him credit for the ones that have had success as well.
Agreed. All right. We're going to stay with the Cardinals here. We're going to be joined by the great Mike Claiborne. Claibs, of course, on the Cardinals radio network, and he's down at spring training right now. We'll kind of pick his brain on what he's seeing out of some of the young Redbirds. It's next on 101 ESPN. Mosby Building Arts is proud to support the Winter Olympics, and with the Winter Olympics in full swing, maybe you're hosting some watch parties right now, and you know how it goes. Everyone else says, they'll kind of spread out a little bit, but somehow they all wind up in the same room, whether it's the kitchen or the family room. Couch fills up, people are left standing, you're bringing in, chairs from outside, and you're dusting off the snow or the leaves or whatever, and it doesn't feel right. If your space is suddenly feels too small, give my friends at Mosby Building Arts a call. If your home isn't built for those moments, whether it is watching the Winter Olympics or hosting other gatherings, whether over holiday breaks or maybe the big game from a couple of weeks ago, Mosby can help. Mosby Building Arts, world-class remodeling. Visit callmosby.com. You can check out what they do. They can completely upgrade the look and the feel of your family room or your kitchen. Maybe you want to redo the entire basement. You got kids, and all of a sudden the kids wind up running around. They don't really have a space of their own, and you want to develop something for them. Mosby can help you out with that as well. So tell them Anthony Stalter sent you. Call Mosby.com. Get that free brainstorming session with Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company. With Super Bowl champion Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the Collier and Thompson phone line. We're joined by longtime Cardinals radio network and now Sports Central STL as well. Host, reporter, do it all. It's Mike Claiborne, all-around great guy as well. Claibs, how are you today?
I'm doing great, man. It's good to visit with you all. We don't do this enough for a lot of different reasons, but it's great to be on with you guys today.
No, it's always great to
you guys really
chat with you.
You caught me at a bad day because I'm trying to figure out if it's the wife's sister or the brother's sister.
I think, Carey, you have an answer, right?
I think we all.
That's the burning question down here right now.
I thought I had an answer, and then maybe I didn't. I have no clue. I don't know if it's the wife's sister or the brother's wife or.
Claibs, what's worse?
What is worse?
Because that's the next question.
You know what? I can just say this: Thanksgiving will never be the same.
No, you're right about that. Of course, Claibs is referencing Tony Clark, the now former MLB PA executive who apparently had an inappropriate relationship with
a sister-in-law.
A sister-in-law.
A sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Not sure which one.
The story is that they kind of stumbled onto this because he was under investigation along with some other people. And somebody ratted them out, but they had no idea this was going on.
How does this impact things, Claibs?
It's a great question. There's a lot of angst within the ranks right now, and just talking to different people, because there was a faction of players that didn't want those guys to go into this next negotiation. So they ended up getting kicked off the executive committee. So it's almost vindication for those guys. And I know Bruce Myers stepped up and said, he expects to be negotiating. You might have to think about blowing this thing up, man, because we're not getting anywhere, with the current mindset. And the reason why I say that is, if you look at the other leagues who have salary caps, and I know that's a taboo, but the bottom line is all the other leagues are partners. Owners and players are partners. They share the wealth. This is the only group that really fights over the wealth because they don't know where it's all coming from. So it's going to be a little bit of a distraction, I think, for some, especially going into the final year of the CBA. So I'm just trying to make sure we as a Cardinal ball club do our thing. And what we have to do is, first of all, be able to learn how to compete, and then you'll be able to contend. And that's where we're at.
Clays, what does the competition level look like for this year? I mean, we've had some people say, they're going to lose 100 games. Some people think maybe 81 games. Where is your opinion about this team? It's a young team, a lot of young guys getting their first opportunity to be everyday players. What are your expectations for this team?
Good question, Carey, because here's the thing. This isn't like we're calling up the Memphis Redbirds, okay? We have a lot of guys with at least 2 years of experience in the big leagues, and some of those guys have had a chance to play on a regular basis, like Mason Wynn, and then you've had guys like Nolan Gorman, who was held back because of Arenado. He was going between second base and DH and then some third. You have Victor Scott II, who's probably going to be your center fielder. He's going to play every day. Jordan Walker is a guy physically. It's something that's changed about him, man. I think we have the full-grown product. He is the biggest Cardinal to ever wear a uniform, by the way. Seriously. We've never had a Cardinal his size. And just watching him, and it's early, okay? We haven't even played anybody yet, but just watching him and how he seems like he's more dedicated to preparation is a good sign. Now, obviously, you got to go out and play. But to your point, competition, here's my concern. If Gorman goes down or if Lars Nootbaar falls on his face, we don't have anybody who has any legitimate experience at third or in left field. Yesterday you had Thomas Jaycee and Jose Fermin taking balls in left field. Those guys are two infielders. They're good players. I like to have them both on the ball club. But, man, if you come down to those guys being every day because of somebody having an injury, we're going to have to go shopping. And I think the right guy to do the shopping is Chaim Bloom. I mean, just what I've seen so far and what he's done and how he's prepared, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I am too, Claves. And I think a lot of Cardinals fans, and not all of them, but a lot of Cardinals fans feel the same way. We're not down there in spring training. Can you give us any sort of insight when it comes to upgrading the facilities,
my goodness,
the pitching labs and all that? Can you fill us in on that, Claves?
Let me tell you something. After watching this thing being put together, because I've been here since January, first of all, I've never seen a project that come in like this in less than 10 months. And obviously, when you have the weather, that works in your favor. But it kind of lets you know how far behind we were with facilities. I mean, the weight room is, I believe, 18,000 square feet. They've got the hot tubs, the cold tubs. They have everything in there but a Olympic-sized swimming pool or one of those wet willy swirlies that comes around. I mean, they got everything you can imagine when it comes to equipment. The batting cages are state-of-the-art. The tunnels they have down there, they have some areas where if Carey Davis is pitching and you're a hitter, you want to see what he looks like, they can dial it up to show you his delivery, his release point, and everything else. I mean, things that, we never thought were even in play that have really, and the players are coming early and staying late just trying to enjoy and really appreciate what they now have to work with. Like I said, the weight room is the biggest weight room I've ever seen. And we have staff to work with people from a development standpoint, whether it's trainers, whether it's instructors. I mean, we have people that are dedicated to positions. We now have 1.5 catching coordinators. We have a guy here all the time, John Goforth, and then Yadi Molina is here. I mean, we never had a catching coordinator since Dave Ricketts, as for when I was here. I've been in business since 1981, okay? So we have the resources now to dedicate to players. And what I said to someone yesterday, this is going to help the Cardinals eliminate who's a suspect. Because we're going to find out whether you can play or not, because we have all the tools. And if you can play, welcome aboard. If you can't, then we're going to look elsewhere. But you won't be here.
Claves, one of the names that everyone is talking about and trying to figure out if he's going to be on the opening day roster is J.J. Weatherholt. What are your thoughts on his progression through the minors and how well he's done? And do you think he'll be on this opening day roster?
Carey, if he's not, that'll be the breaking news of the year. The day before yesterday, I'm standing there, and there's Ozzie talking to J.J. and Mason Wynn. And they had been working together well before spring training because they were both living down here. And I was talking to Mason yesterday. He said, yeah, this is going to be a long run between us two. And they've already started to build that chemistry. So, yes, he will be jumping out of a pickup truck on opening day, barring injury.
Nice. Cool. Okay.
And you know what? Because, again, there's nobody behind them. I mean, and this is no slap at Fermin or Sajasi, but they're the only other guys that have big league experience there in camp. So if you can't go with a guy that you drafted 7th in the draft, and this is his second professional year, then maybe we made a mistake elsewhere in drafting him. And most people think had he not had the hamstring injury that slowed him down his senior year, he would have been taken earlier.
Makes sense. We're talking to Mike Claiborne, Cardinals Radio Network and Sports Central STL. Claves, another player that certainly is going to see or garner a lot of interest is going to be Victor Scott. And Victor Scott, I think last year, obviously, he showed the prowess defensively, and people are just kind of wondering what sort of hitter he's going to be. What are you hearing? What are you hearing on Victor Scott and the winter he had?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm seeing, and I'm glad you brought his name up. Yesterday, I talked to him, and he's changed his whole approach about preparation. This is a very detailed individual. He carries a notebook around, and he makes notes all the time. But he changed a few things about his approach and preparation. Learning now not putting the ball in the air is going to be a good thing for him. He works on his bunting relentlessly, and I think really what the wake-up call was, he was a finalist for a Gold Glove.
Yeah.
And John Jay has had a lot to do with that. And the fact that they're on the same page, I think this says a lot about the direction of where he's going to go. Now, my issue with that is, I know everybody wants to hit him ninth. My thing is, why don't you hit him leadoff? That's where he's always been.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just think that in that situation, it's one of those things that this is where he's been. This is where he's been successful. And I think the key for him is if you get a good number 2 hitter behind him, man, Victor Scott can set the table for you.
That'd be awesome. Last question for me, and it's another player that is a younger player, had a really good season last year as a DH, but they're talking about potentially putting him back at catcher. He struggled at catcher, Claibs. He was struggling. And Von Herrera, what are you seeing from him behind the plate, not just at the plate?
Well, you know what? He had the surgery in the offseason, and he's been playing hurt for about a year and a half. And some think, including Yvonne, that really hindered his throwing. I've watched him throw the last couple of days. He says he's 100%. So, we'll find out. And I think the key is the fact that you're going to keep his bat in the lineup. So that's going to give Pedro Pages a chance, maybe Yoel Pozo a chance. And we have this other young catcher. He's like 20 years old, Leo Bernal, switch hitter, Gold Glove in Double-A. And, man, I watch his hands. His mother was a catcher in Panama. His dad was a catcher. She's a softball catcher. So this is all he knows. So he's got a real advantage. And just watching Yachty talking to him and working with him the last couple of days, you know how it is, Carey, when a coach really starts to gravitate to you compared to you gravitating to him. When they start coming up to you, talking to you, I see that with Yachty already. And so I think there's something working there. But, so far so good with Yvonne. We're going to find out a lot about him because he's going to get a chance to catch down here. He's not going to participate in the WBC because I think he knew it was more important to be here than to be out chasing the trophy that they weren't going to win.
Claibs, we appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of the spring training. I know you got a big season ahead of you and all the traveling and everything that you do. Keep up the great work.
Well, it's always good to visit with you guys, and I enjoy your show when I get a chance to listen. And you guys have a great year. And because I'm in Florida and the weather's good just about every day I've been here, it's always good. That's the key for me, brother. That's the key at this point.
Good man. We appreciate you, Claibs.
You guys take care.
You too. Thank you. Take care. That's Mike Claiborne, Cardinals Radio Network, Sports Central STL. Good stuff there, and a lot of positives. That's for sure.
And, it sounds very upbeat.
Yeah, it should be right. It's spring training. And there's hope.
Well, I think for me, not that this is going to equate to wins, right? But the notion that the amount of work and understanding where you were versus where you need to be, I think that speaks volumes. So if Jordan Walker is performing or practicing or preparing in a way that he hasn't before, that's progress. If J.J. Weatherholt and Mason Wynn have been working together and they have this chemistry, that means a lot. You played middle infield. You understand, knowing where your shortstop is, knowing where your second baseman is. So it means a lot, and there's a lot of value in that. So for me, what it sounds like, I don't think that that's going to necessarily equate to a playoff team or a 100-win team, but it does equate to younger players maybe taking a jump further than you might have thought they would have going into the season. Yeah, that's what I think that is.
Yeah, developing that chemistry, you're absolutely right. I mean, and it's really up the middle, right? Yeah. It's knowing what your pitcher is throwing, you having a great idea of how they're going to attack, where they're going to attack, inside, outside, where do you position yourself as a shortstop. You're constantly communicating not only with the second baseman, but the third baseman as well. Where is your outfit? You're turning around where the outfield is. You want to make sure that everybody's on the same page, what kind of hitter it is. I mean, there's a lot that goes into playing sound defense, and you at the big league level, you should play extraordinary defense.
Right.
But if you're not on the same page and you're lackluster, you're thinking about your next at bat or your last at bat, winds up being a big problem.
I just love the mentality out of these young players. We talk at length about getting a veteran guy in the clubhouse, but when I hear these players in spring training, the way they talk, everything, it gets me excited, and it lets me know that they're in a good headspace heading into a year where a lot of people think that they're going to fail.
Yeah, good call. All right. Sports Six Pack is next. If you got a question for us, 314-399-9646 at the Air Comfort Service text line. So send your questions in there. We'll answer them here. Sports Six Pack, part one next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We just talked with Mike Claiborne. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you will find all of our shows and all of our interviews there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We'll also talk with Joe Vitale. We'll go over some Olympic hockey with him at 5:15. But coming up next, we have our Sports Six-Pack. So get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll answer those questions next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
Time for the Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. I've got Jamie out for the next couple of days. We'll be back on Monday. Marsh has got question number one for our Sports Six-Pack.
Question number one.
First question comes from the Water Boy. Which is worse, doing sports talk radio during the Winter Olympics every 4 years or every year during Major League Baseball's All-Star break?
Oh, All-Star break.
Yeah, every year.
All-Star break.
Every year, All-Star break.
Because there's nothing else. Like, there are no... Like, right now, basketball is on a break because they have... You know, they just had their All-Star game. But they'll start back up on Thursday.
Yep. Hockey next week.
Hockey. But baseball in the summer, when there is no baseball... Let me tell you something, man. That is rough.
Yeah.
And as you said, it's every year.
It's every year.
It's almost like you get prepared for it. Like,
yeah.
What are we going to talk about here?
Yeah, maybe I'll take that week off. You figure it out. I mean, right now, the topics aren't robust, as people like to remind us. But it's part of the job, man. That's what we do. It's not hard. It's challenging. It's not hard, but you'll figure it out. And hopefully we entertain you.
Are you
we
not
don't
entertained?
You're not listening anyways. So, you know.
Make a great point, Anthony.
That's a very good point, actually.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Good job.
I tried.
Question number two.
All right, we got a text when we were talking about the new way to draft, according to Mark Cuban. We got a text from the 314. I decided to save it for the six-pack. Here it is. I have an idea to eliminate tanking and in sports. What do you guys think of awarding the first team to miss the playoffs with the top pick, then work your way down through to the worst record, and then start from the bottom of the playoff teams and work your way up? This may not be the perfect solution, but it does improve good teams to get more competition, and it definitely does not reward tanking teams.
I actually like that. I can do without the play-in bracket. I think that's ridiculous. Man, that's cool, but...
Yeah.
I like that, though. You just missed the playoffs. There's incentive. But then... I mean, it is, but if you
know you're not a true contender,
and you're just playing
right
hard,
there.
just hard enough to, oh no, we just missed. Darn it.
That's part of the issue with tanking.
Yeah.
It's very subjective.
Because if I have an opportunity to, become the 8th seed, know I'm going to get spanked by this team that has won 65 games this year in the first round. Or I can lose these last 2 games and just barely miss. And I gave my fans that great false enthusiasm. We were trying. Gosh darn it, man.
Interesting idea. I don't know if it helps.
You still find a way to tank.
Yeah.
If you don't want to. I mean, I do think it's ridiculous to not try to make the playoffs if you're there.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna lose, I can understand.
Right. Plus, ultimately, I mean, who's really tanking? Because the players still play hard.
Yeah, it's not the players. It's the, they find ways to Hey, you're injured, aren't you? Didn't Max Crosby go through that? Didn't he miss the last game of the year? He was injured.
Yeah, and then he was hooping. He was caught on video.
Yeah, he was. You're too banged up to play, right, Max?
Right. No, I'm great. I'm ready
Max,
to go.
your ankle, remember it was swollen after the last game?
Took care of it. We're good to go.
Nah, we're gonna hold you out. We don't want to do any further damage. Okay, Max?
I don't like this at all.
We need that first pick.
Yeah. No, interesting. Again, interesting idea. I applaud the creativity. I just don't know. I don't know if it ultimately solves the issue, or if it just
question number 3.
Problem.
My bad, Anthony.
No. I paused. I gave you the pregnant pause there.
The what?
The pregnant pause. Long pause followed by the pickup of
said
another
conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. Low Life Dad wants to know if the Cardinals are somehow in a wild card spot or around the division lead come All-Star break, what does management do?
I would add. Never mind.
I'll say it.
No, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
Gary.
You got to say it, Keith.
You got to say it now.
I would ask, what were you drinking on, man?
Oh.
The division lead.
I mean, this is hypothetical. You know?
Oh, so
we don't know how this season will
We
play
don't.
out.
Actually,
It hasn't
I don't
even
wanna-
started yet.
I don't want to, knock my guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, answer the question now.
What do the Cardinals do?
Yeah.
Man, keep playing, man. Are you gonna trade people?
Well, yeah. Who else at that point are you trading? There's only a couple. There's only a couple of guys I can think of.
Keep playing.
Lars Newbar and Dustin May.
Play it through, man.
And JJ Romero. JoJo. Excuse me. Not JJ. JoJo.
Weatherholt.
This guy's trying to trade
JoJo.
JJ Weatherhold already. What the hey, man?
Romero.
Yeah. Nah,
Other
man.
than that, who else?
Keep playing.
And you can still deal those guys, and so yes, I think that's fair to suggest that I'm over the Lars Newbar experiment.
That guy's a WBC champion.
And he always will be.
Yeah. You can never take that away from him.
Can't get fooled again. Sports Six Pack Part 2 is coming up. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Keep those questions coming in, and we'll play Part 2 out next on 101 ESPN.
question.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter, part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack. Marsh's got question 4 for us.
Question number 4.
All right, this one comes from Andy Pants. Which stat is harder to believe? Albert Pujols never hit 50 home runs in a season, or that Yadier Molina never caught a no-hitter?
Wow.
Albert Pujols.
I think Yachty.
I think Albert.
Yachty never, I mean, for as great as Yachty was, and man, he was great. Never caught a no-hitter?
Yeah, but you would have to base that off of the pitchers that were throwing to him. Like, not that all no-hitters are thrown by Hall of Fame pitchers.
Yeah, definitely.
You could have a really good day, but I think it's harder to catch a no-hitter than for Albert, who was arguably I don't even know if it's an argument, the greatest hitter of his era. Definitely right-handed hitter to not have 50 home runs in a season.
49 was the most.
Yeah. How many times did he have over 40?
Over 40? Well, why don't I just check, Carey? I'm looking at, see if my math is correct. 7?
7's the number. Yeah. 49 1 year.
So he if
47.
Over 40 is 7 if you're counting, or I'm sorry. If you're going over 40, it'd be 6 times. But if you count the 40, yeah, it'd be 7.
Yeah, man. He had 47 1 year, 46. Like, that's more. I think it's harder to catch a no-hitter than for one of the greatest hitters to ever do it, because it's two people that you're basing that off of. Like, the pitcher has to be perfect and the catcher has to call a perfect game, but the pitcher has to execute the perfect pitch. So who's to say that Yachty didn't call a no-hitter worth game?
I'm not knocking Yachty for this. I'm just saying that is pretty.
I'm saying it's not on Yachty. Is what I'm saying. It's not solely on Yachty or Molina.
Could be on your center fielder.
Could be.
Maybe
Could
not
be on your second baseman.
Taking the right jump, or getting the right jump.
There's more people involved in a no-hitter than just man versus man.
So you think it's harder to catch a no-hitter?
No question.
Okay.
Too many things have to go right. For 9 innings, like, too many things have to be.
Buster Posey caught 3 no-hitters.
Like I said, man, it's not that hard, but
from 3 different pitchers. Matt Cain
had 3
Tim
good days,
Lincecum,
man.
And Chris Heston.
Who?
Yeah. Ryan Hannigan.
How close
caught
has Yachty
2
come?
no-hitters.
Well,
each from Homer Bailey, 2012 and 2013.
Miles Michaelis almost threw a no-hitter a few years ago. And that was the one against the Pirates where the ball was hit to center field. And you can make the argument that Harrison Bader should have caught the ball.
Sure.
So
I'm just saying I mean, Victor Carantini has got multiple no-hitters. I'm shocked that one of the best catchers defensively that has ever played the game doesn't have any.
If I'm reading this correctly, the Cardinals haven't had a no-hitter since 2001.
Correct.
So,
well, yeah, because Yachty got here in 04. So that would make sense.
So, yeah. Come on, man.
No, you come on.
Ain't his damn fault.
I'm not saying it's his fault.
You kind of are blaming Yachty.
I'm not. I'm explaining my viewpoint on this. I think it's more shocking that he does not have.
I think that's a shot at Yachty or Molina.
It's not a shot.
And you're saying he like it's his fault. It's 8 other damn people out there, Anthony.
I'm aware of that.
One of them touches the ball every single time, and he actually throws it to Yachty. That ain't.
JT Realmuto, two no-hitters.
You just gonna keep naming all these guys.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
To prove my point, I'm shocked.
All right, incoherent voice text says it's low-hanging fruit to blame that on Harrison Bader. He made another play in the game that was stellar to preserve the no-hitter to that point. I'm not trying to blame the guy. I'm just saying there's people out there that maybe think that he should have caught the ball. I don't know. That's like, what do you want me to say?
Jason Varitek has caught 4.
4?
Yeah.
Jason Varitek?
Jason
He was
Varitek.
really good, but he wasn't Yachty.
Hideo Nomo, Clay Buchholz, Derek Lowe, and John Lester.
Wow. Waterboy chimes in from the Snake Pit. Only 34 players have hit 50 or more home runs in a single season.
And we got how many catchers have caught no hitters? I'm counting.
Well,
both of them are surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's special.
Good question, by the way.
That is a good question.
Really good question. All right, moving on.
Question number 5.
From the 314, in hindsight, does it make sense to trade Nolan Arenado and still pay most of his salary if the Cardinals don't have anyone to play third base?
They got someone to play third base. Hell yeah, it makes sense. Nolan Gorman, your turn, buddy. Stay healthy. You can't stay healthy, you just made their job easier. And be looking for another third baseman next year.
Yep.
Yeah, I said it yesterday. Bleeper, get out the pot, man.
Yep.
Yeah. You would never see Nolan Gorman play 140 games if Nolan Arenado was still here. Not at third base for sure.
No.
So, yes, it makes perfect sense, especially this season.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
Question whatever, please.
Question number 6.
From the 314, how often does Ollie Marmol work hands-on with each MLB Cardinals player as opposed to other coaches?
That I don't know. I could not answer that question. I have no idea. Not only could I not answer that from Ollie's standpoint, I couldn't answer that from the 29 other managers in Major League Baseball. I don't know.
I mean, hands-on in terms of what?
Like, is he hitting fungo?
You gotta go hit the ball. I mean, your stance is off, and you pay coaches to do those things.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to manage. We just like to. Some fans just want to boil it down to managing the lineup and managing the bullpen. That's it. That's all they have to do.
I don't know, Anthony. I think Ollie Marmol should be the third base coach and should just be given signs from third base. You know,
He should be.
as the manager.
Yeah, he should be a coordinator. Coordinate the offense. You should coordinate the
want him in
defense. We got a guy
With the Falcons?
who can't do it. Yeah.
Fortunately for you, your head coach calls offensive plays too.
Apparently
so
not.
He can oversee.
Apparently not. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Do we have a Gauntlet contestant?
We need a new one, Anthony.
We need a new one.
Someone that's never played before.
All
Let's
right,
give them
well,
a chance.
Hey, text in the word Gauntlet to 314-399-9646, and you can have an opportunity to take on either CD, Marsh, or me next on 101 ESPN.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
4:03, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis. No Jamie Rivers. He's on vacation, but I'm Anthony Stalter. We do have Dan on the line. He's going to play in the Gauntlet. What's up, Dan?
What's up, fellas? How are you today?
We're doing great. Appreciate you playing. Thank you for listening. Would you like to take on Marsh, Carey, or me in round 1?
It's quick. Take on Corey. Carey.
Carey. Okay, yeah. There we go. Carey Davis.
Good luck, Dan.
All right, same to you.
All right, Carey's going to head into the cone of silence right now. Dan, you're going to tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel, Marsh.
All right, Dan, what are we hoping for?
Random.
He wants random. Does the wheel oblige?
Of course it does not. It's hockey.
Hockey. How do you feel about hockey?
Not a strong point.
Okay, that's all right. Well, you're going to get 4 hockey-related questions today, Dan. Each one is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Thank you, Marsh. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, Dan, here we go. Question number 1. King star Kevin Fiala will sit out the rest of the regular season after undergoing surgery on his injured left leg. Can you tell us the team with which Fiala began his NHL career?
Options.
Nashville Predators, Minnesota Wilds, LA Kings.
Final answer.
Oh, sorry, we missed that, Dan. What'd you say?
Let's go with the Wild. Final answer.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, Dan, question number 2. Blues action returns on February 26th with a matchup against Seattle. Who is the Kraken's point leader so far this season?
Options.
Options are Jordan Eberle, Vince Dunn, or Matty Beniers.
Maddie. Final answer.
All right, question number 3, Dan. After barely a season of junior hockey, Wayne Gretzky jumped to the World Hockey Association. Name his team. I'm assuming name his team for junior hockey there, Marsh?
No, the team that he was with in the WHA, the team that he jumped to.
Oh, okay, sorry. So Wayne Gretzky, who jumped to the World Hockey Association, which team did he jump to?
B. Final answer.
B. Final answer. Do you want the options?
Sure.
Quebec Nordiques, the Houston Aeros, or the Indianapolis Racers?
Let's stay in Canada. Quebec.
Final answer?
Final answer, yeah.
Question number 4. Grant Fuhr was a first-round draft pick in 1981, enjoying immense success with the Edmonton Oilers before getting dealt where?
Buffalo, maybe. Let's get some options.
Options are New York, Calgary, or Toronto.
Good. Let's go to Calgary. Final answer.
All right, we're going to bring back Carey from the Cone of Silence. Dan, how you feeling?
Like I'm wearing the collar.
Okay, all right. Yeah, some days that happens that way. Carey making his way back in from the Cone of Silence right now. He's got his cottage cheese, rocking it.
Had my cottage cheese.
Ate it.
Let's go.
Ate it already. Your category today is hockey.
Hey. Oh, I love that hockey, Anthony. You know me.
I would say pack a lunch. It sounds like you already ate your cottage cheese, but I'll say it again. Pack a lunch.
Question 1.
Okay.
King star Kevin Fiala will sit out the rest of the regular season after undergoing surgery on his injured left leg. Can you tell us the team with which Fiala began his NHL career?
Ooh. That's a very good question, Anthony.
Thank you.
I can see clearly now. The rain is coming. Nope, I don't know.
Which team were you
I was torn. I was
envisioning?
I saw like a few jerseys. I saw a Blue Jackets jersey and I saw a Ducks jersey. But I think I'm going to need the options, Anthony.
Okay. Good thing. Nashville Predators.
No.
Minnesota Wilds.
Yes.
LA Kings.
Wild. Final answer.
Question number 2. Blues action returns on February 26th with a matchup against Seattle. Who is the Kraken's point leader so far this season?
Very good question, Andrew Marsh. Just to narrow it down, let me take the options.
Of course.
Yeah.
Your options are Jordan Eberle, Vince Dunn, or Matty Beniers.
Let's go with Matt. Final answer.
All right, Carey. After barely a season of junior hockey, Wayne Gretzky jumped to the World Hockey Association. Name his team.
Oh, man, we were just talking about that the other day, but there's the Brisbane. You know what? Just give me the options.
Sure.
Yeah.
Quebec Nordiques, the Houston Aeros, or the Indianapolis Racers.
Indianapolis Racers. Is that a real hockey team? Who was the second team?
Houston Aeros.
And the Quebec Nordiques?
Yeah, Quebec Nordiques, Houston Aeros, Indianapolis Racers.
Oh. Just give me Houston, man. I don't know. Houston Aeros. That the answer?
I can't tell you the answer, but it is one of the options.
Yeah, give me them. Final answer.
All right.
Question number 4. Grant Fuhr was a first-round draft pick in 1981, enjoying immense success with the Edmonton Oilers before getting dealt where?
Oh, where did old Grant Furzy? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know where he went. Yeah, it's where he went after Edmonton, eh? Was he a King? No, I don't know. Marsh, you give me those options, and I'll see if I can sort through it.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, your options are New York, Calgary, Toronto.
You know what? Give me the Flames. Calgary, as they like to say, Anthony, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Give me the Calgary Flames. Final answer.
All right, let's go over these. Dan versus Carey.
Are we going straight down the list?
Nope.
Okay, good.
King star Kevin Fiala will sit out the rest of the regular season after undergoing surgery on his injured left leg. Can you tell us the team with which Fiala began his NHL career? Carey listened to the options, went with the Wilds. Dan also said the Minnesota Wilds. Correct answer is?
Well, he did play for the Wild. He also played with the Nashville Predators.
Nashville Predators is the answer. We have a 0-0 tie. Blues action returns on February 26th with a matchup against Seattle. Who is the Kraken's points leader so far this season? Dan went with Matty Beniers. Carey also went with Matty Beniers. Correct answer is?
Yeah, it's Jordan Eberle.
Jordan Eberle.
Of course it is.
He's got 38. Grant Fuhr, or Furzy, was a first-round draft pick in 1981, enjoying immense success with the Edmonton Oilers before getting dealt where? You both said Calgary. Correct answer is?
Toronto.
Toronto is the correct answer. Marsh, you got a score check, kid?
0-0.
0.0.
This is terrible, man.
Comes down to this, boys. It comes down to this. Now, you both answered the same on all of them so far. After barely a season of junior hockey, Wayne Gretzky jumped to the World Hockey Association. Name his team. Dan went with the Quebec Nordiques. Carey went with the Houston Aeros. If it's the Houston Aeros, Carey wins. If it's the Quebec Nordiques, Dan wins. Dan.
Walk it up.
It's the Indianapolis Racers. So we got a 0-0 tie. We have a 0-0 tie between Dan and Carey in hockey, which means we've got a walk-off now. So, Dan, this is how it's going to work.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Carey's going to write down his answer. You're going to hold off on giving yours. Once we know what Carey's answer is, then we'll get your answer. Closest to the pin wins today. Sound good?
Got it.
All right, here we go. How many saves did Jordan Binnington make in Team Canada's 3-2 overtime win at the Four Nations face-off? How many saves did Jordan Binnington make in Team Canada's 3-2 overtime win at the Four Nations face-off? Carey is writing down his answer. Dan will give us his in a second. Carey, you wrote down. Let me see that. Got it. All right, Dan, what's your answer?
23.
Okay. Dan just said 23. Carey, you wrote down
21.
Marshy, how many saves did Jordan Binnington make in Team Canada's 3-2 overtime win at the Four Nations face-off?
31.
Dan.
You have chosen wisely.
Dan, you didn't get it done in regulation, but you did in OT. You advanced to round 2. Carey advances to the back of the class, where he'll be in our penalty box. So congrats, Dan, I guess. We'll call you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. Have a great one.
You too. Thanks, Dan.
Everything in me wanted to say 24.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I went with 21.
That's all right.
Nah, man.
That's okay. Sometimes this happens. Sometimes it happens.
Damn, Houston Aeros.
Yeah.
We got 0 right.
Yeah. 0. You guys combined for 0 right.
The number.
Yeah.
I asked you were you going to go straight down the line, and you said no.
I didn't.
You might as well have.
No, we had to create suspense.
I had to create the suspense, man.
Why?
You guys all had the same answers except for one.
Exactly. Marsh knew what I was doing. Did I ever tell you the first? So we used to do it where, like you guys used to do it in the morning, where we used to just go right down the list, right?
Yeah.
And at one point, I looked at it, I'm like, well, this why not build some suspense?
Yeah.
So I started mixing up things, and Brad Thompson looked at me like, what are you doing? what the hell are you doing? He was lost. He had no idea. But, well, you gotta build suspense for the people. Sorry, Carey.
No suspense for me, man.
No, that was...
I was in there studying random facts, too.
He wanted random.
I wanted random. I was studying random facts.
Yeah?
Yeah. Did you know an octopus has 3 hearts?
I do.
Mm-hmm. You do?
Yeah.
You do now?
I do now.
Yeah.
I may have guessed 3 hearts.
Yeah.
A lot of love from that.
A lot of love.
From that creature.
Man. Yeah. You have to, right? It's an ugly thing.
Depends on who's asking or who's looking.
I mean, come on.
Nah. Do you think that his mother thinks that it's ugly?
Of course not, but that's the damn thing's mother. What I'm saying is...
They obviously have to make more octopi. How does that happen? Somebody finds that octopus attractive.
There's something for everybody, okay?
Yeah. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
There you go.
Listen, guys, what I'm saying is...
What are you saying?
An octopus is not going to... No, an octopus is not going to win a beauty pageant in the sea. Probably go to a dolphin.
Depends on who's doing the judging.
I'm just saying.
You know what I mean? You got
dolphin or...
It depends on who's on the committee.
I don't know. What else is pretty down there?
Like
starfish.
Fish. I mean, certain fish.
A jellyfish is cool.
Jellyfish is cool, yeah.
Like a swordfish.
Stingray.
Yeah. Stingray, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful fish. Yeah. Octopus, not so much.
You don't know that, man.
There's a couple
I do know that.
Ugly fish down in the sea. Like that one in Finding Nemo that had a light bulb on its head. You know what I'm talking about?
That was...
That thing was ugly. And scary.
That wasn't Nemo. That was Luca.
What?
Yeah. Maybe it was in Nemo too, but you talk
Finding Nemo. When they're down there and then the pitch black and all of a sudden that fish shows up with a light bulb. They're like, oh, we can see again. And then they turn around and an ugly looking thing.
I noticed you didn't say another animal in the, down in the deep blue sea that you really love.
Yeah.
Those sharks.
I don't know, but it's a tough guy. The tough guy to see.
You avoided it. You avoided it. It's okay. Yeah. You didn't want people assuming.
Lipsis 150 says, so Anthony finds dolphins attractive. Okay, I'm not saying they're attractive. I'm just saying if anybody's going to win a beauty contest in the sea, it's probably going to be a dolphin. Yeah. It's not going to be an octopus. And by the way, Lipsis, happy birthday yesterday.
It's like saying a dog is cute, right? Like,
yeah, of course.
We're just talking about sea creatures.
Yeah. Okay. I think we ironed that out, guys.
Yeah.
All right, Carey.
What's my record this year?
Oh, you want me to tell you?
I stink. I have been struggling.
Let's take a gander at the record.
Keep struggling.
Man.
Carey, you're under 500 now.
I know it.
5-6. 5-6.
What's my record in hockey?
You're now 1-2. Well, Anthony's a perfect 8-0 this year.
Oh, now I'm screwed. Now I am screwed.
3-0 in random. That's his best category.
Oh, yeah.
Things change.
Well, I did vow to not be such an idiot in 2026, Had more than enough of those moments. All right, we're going to bet the board next on 101 ESPN. Whether you're looking at pre-owned vehicles or brand new Nissan models, one place to go to, Auto Centers Nissan. That's because they've got over 1,000 new vehicles, and this month, it's the best buying window that they're going to have maybe all year. And you want to head out to Auto Centers Nissan because on select new Nissan models, you could get 0 payments for 6 months, 0 money down, and 0% APR for 60 months. We're talking about 3 zeros, thousands in immediate savings. And Auto Centers Nissan is also offering deep price cuts across the entire new Nissan lineup, making this, again, one of the strongest buying windows of the year. Every new Nissan from Auto Centers Nissan also comes with a 30-day return promise, which is within 30 days. If you're not completely satisfied with the purchase that you made, bring it back to Auto Centers. They'll refund your money and let's just go with something else that you're looking at. If you're shopping used, select pre-owned vehicles qualify for 0 down and no payments for 3 months, and every financed new or used vehicle includes complimentary walkaway finance protection, helping defend you from negative loan equity if life changes unexpectedly. When you head out to Herculaneum, tell them Stalter sent you. You can also visit them at AutoCentersNissan.com. Either way, visit them out in Herculaneum as well. It's Auto Centers Nissan. Time to bet the board here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. Marsh, how did we do last night?
We did not do well, Anthony. Obviously, SLU lost. We had the team total. It was set at 80.5. I took them at 79.5. They did not reach that number. And in the dying moments of that game, Anthony, the over hit.
Yeah, it was bad.
So you did not pick up a point.
No.
And Jamie's Wisconsin Badgers also lost. But Carey's Michigan Wolverines. At one point, Carey almost became a Michigan Wolverine. He was rooting for him yesterday, and they came out victorious. So Carey, the only one to pick up a point last night. And so our new standings look like this. Jamie, 6 points. Carey, 6 points. Anthony, you have 5, and I have 4.
Okay. All right. Nice job. Nice job, Carey.
Look at us. Huh?
Look at you.
Look at us.
Let's see here. Let me confirm that this line is not moved. Jamie's done an exceptional job. I don't know if he's setting a timer or something like that.
I'm very disappointed.
I am too.
To be honest.
Yeah, I am too. So he's down in, Mexico, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
very disappointed.
He's sending in his picks consistently, and I think he should be ashamed of himself.
He should be.
Okay, he sent in Alabama minus 3.5. Now, the line has moved to 4.5, but let's see if we can get the alternate line here. Let's see here. Game lines, alternate spread. No. We cannot get him a better line. No, we can. All right, we'll give him Alabama minus 3.5. That's what he wanted. That's what he's going to get.
You didn't want to just give him 4.5? He didn't ask for the alt line.
No, he didn't. No, he just said Alabama on the spread minus 3.5. It's 4.5, but at 3.5, he can actually get it at minus 2.5 in our rules. So I say let's give him 3.5. That's what he asked for.
All right.
All right.
I'm struggling. I've been struggling. Give me KU at minus 5.5 on the alt spread line. I just missed 4.5. But yeah, 5.5.
Okay. Marsh, is it my turn? Is that?
You can go.
No, go ahead.
All right, well, I am going to look at tomorrow's gold medal game between the United States and Canada for women's hockey. A start time of 12:10.
Yeah.
Which means it's before our show. Give me the team total for the United States. Oh, no, wait, that's Canada. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. All right, I'm going to go with the over in the game. Over 5.5 at plus 114.
Okay. Marcia, give me Alabama minus 2.5. At minus 148.
You are terrible.
You know what I mean? You cool with that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Hey, we have your shot to score a pair of tickets to see Zach Bryan on Saturday, March 7th at the Dome at America Center. Find all the ticket details and a bonus chance to win free tickets to Zach Bryan right now at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app powered by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We got a trivia question for the people today, guys? Let's see here.
It could be an easy one, like if you were just listening. Which sea creature does Anthony believe is really ugly? It could be as simple as that.
Yep, it's probably not going to win a beauty pageant in the sea.
It's the ugliest sea creature.
Yeah. So what's the
ugliest?
What's the sea creature?
Animal in all of the seas, oceans.
Mm-hmm. So if you have that answer, like Marsh said, it's pretty easy if you're just listening. Send it into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646 if you're the 101st texter and you have the correct answer to that trivia question. You'll go see Zach Bryan on March 7th, Saturday, March 7th at the Dome.
By the way, the text line let us know that the light bulb fish, the very disturbing-looking light bulb fish, is known as the anglerfish.
The anglerfish?
Yes. Very scary looking. I don't know if there was a shark and an anglerfish, and I had to choose which one I had to go up against, I might take the Shark.
Really?
Look it up, man. This thing is scary looking.
Yeah. Well, it has to be. It's all the way down in the depths of the
bottom.
Yeah.
His teeth are menacing.
Yeah.
It's got a light bulb too. You know?
Right.
I guess you probably wouldn't be able to make it that far down.
No. You're
You'd be long gone.
The
before
pressure.
that.
Yeah. The pressure would
make you
capsize you. Yeah.
burst.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
That would be real bad. Yep. All right. Fastlane on 101 at ESPN. Why is this version of the Blues not resonating with the fan base outside of, the losses? That's next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We are off a little early today. UConn Creighton will have some college hoops for you starting at 5:45. So the pregame is at 5:45. Tip-off is at 6. If you have missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and all of our shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We will be joined by Joe Vitale at 5:15. We'll talk some Blues hockey as well as some Olympic hockey. Speaking of hockey, we're going to dive into the Blues coming up next. Why is this version of the Blues not resonating with the fan base? I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
For me, the fans in that city, they don't ask for much. They just want you to lay it on the line. Right, yeah. Just play hard. And for me, the years of success we had, it matched the work ethic and the blue collar and what the city really represents and asks for. So
that voice was former Blue Robert Bortuzzo on Missing Curfew, the podcast, on the fans of St. Louis. Outside of wins, of course, because wins and losses, I mean, your team's winning, you can just justify anything, right? Hey, as long as we win, Carey, that's all I care about.
Keep winning.
That's right. So outside of wins and losses, what do fans of the region, the city, want out of their favorite team? Do you guys feel as though, Carey, you didn't play here, but you certainly know the temperature of the fan base because you're one of them. You grew up in St. Louis. Marsh, same deal with you. What do you think is not resonating, besides, of course, the losses, with this fan base when it comes to the Blues?
Obviously, the losses are tough to deal with. If you feel like your team isn't competing on a nightly basis, I think that stretch where they had lost like 3 or 4 in a row, but you could tell that they were playing hard. They lost a few, I think, in overtime and last few minutes. It might have been that first Dallas loss with under a minute left. Like, I think in that stretch, you felt like, man, they're close. Yeah. They're close to turning the corner, and you can accept. I think you can accept the loss as long as it is your team is playing hard and giving everything they got. For me, when you get frustrated when a fan base gets frustrated with a team, it's when they look lackluster, when they're just not that they're not trying, but sometimes it may look like they're not trying.
Yeah.
And you're saying to yourself, well, what the hell am I here for? Why am I spending my money? It was a game maybe before that stretch where they got booed. Like, if you're booing a team, it's because you don't appreciate the effort that they're giving. It's not that they're getting their faces kicked in, which happens. It's when you feel like you guys are giving up.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think pro athletes give up. You have, I won't say all, but some have, and some will. But the majority of a team is not going to give up and quit. But when it looks like that, that's when fans have the right, in my opinion, to boo and just kind of give it to the home team when they're out there.
There's 3 things for me when it comes to, the fans potentially not resonating with this specific team. I have 3 things that I wrote down: losing puck battles, bad body language, and the appearance of there being no accountability for bad play. Mm-hmm. Not saying that there isn't accountability. I'm not saying that at all, but maybe some fans, there's like an appearance of it where, blah, 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 like, why is he playing right now? He's not, he hasn't been playing well. Why is he still in the lineup?
Right.
Fans feel a certain way, and they have every right to feel that way. That's why we're fans, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why I say the appearance. But those are the 3 things that I wrote down. And people, like, they don't want to watch that.
I agree. Yeah, I think you guys are spot on. I think it's a situation where you want to spend your hard-earned money. You have no problem spending your hard-earned money, I should say, on a team that you feel as though represents your city and represents what you want to watch.
Yeah.
And if you don't feel like you're getting that, then forget it. Yeah. Splashback Deuce says you make your own luck, and these Blues seem to have shut down the luck factory. Yeah. Splash also says, Marshy, holy smoly. Perfect 3 reasons, Marshy.
Oh, thanks.
So good, I won't call it a list.
Yeah, those are just the things that come to my mind about this version of the team. And, there's perfect examples of other teams in the past who were able to accomplish all of those things. Mm-hmm. There's a sort of grit factor to them. While they may not be the most talented team on the ice, they will be the most hardworking team, and that resonates well with where we are located in the country. Perhaps all the flash and all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, like that'd be great.
Yeah.
But maybe that works somewhere else, right? On the coast where you can, where the stars are and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The stars are in Dallas.
Well, yeah, the stars are in Dallas. Yeah, they are.
What are you talking about, right?
Yeah, both football and hockey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, they're not the stars. They have a star on their helmet.
Star of Texas.
Deep in the heart of the... No, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's it, right?
Okay, I think so. I don't know.
Deep in the heart of Texas. It's not a star in Texas.
No,
it's just the heart.
In the heart of Texas.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So I have a star then. Why not a heart?
Very good question. Maybe that song came out after they were already stars on their field.
Yeah, maybe. Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Do you think the Cardinals... It's kind of weird in baseball, right? But do you think that they are like a blue-collar type team? I know they're a young team.
Are they a blue-collar team?
I know it's kind of weird to say that in baseball.
Yeah, I don't think we know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we know that yet. What would you define as a blue-collar baseball team?
What is a blue-collar? Who would, like, in the history of, can a baseball team be blue-collar?
That's my question.
I mean, maybe
the Brewers are. You think the Brewers are blue collar esque?
They kind of remind me of like a numbers nerd, type team.
No,
they're the accounting department of Major League Baseball.
Who would be a blue collar? Baseball. I don't know that you can equate you can correlate baseball.
Rowe was blue collar.
I never saw him play.
He should have.
Unfortunately,
should pull up the highlights.
Yeah, I don't know that they have highlights.
Yeah, Hambone Williams.
Yeah, no, I don't
was
think
blue collar.
Yeah,
I don't think there are highlights for that.
No, it's a great question. I don't know. All joking aside, I don't know what a blue collar team would look like in baseball.
Is it as simple as executing the fundamentals of baseball?
Yeah. And now we're just, associating, like we're putting labels on things that don't really even make sense. Like, wouldn't they just be a fundamentally sound team?
Yeah.
Like blue collar is get up, go to work, grind it out.
Yeah.
You're not going to get recognized. You're not going to have, a massive paycheck.
I would love
but
to know.
You're going to support your family. Like, that's blue collar.
Right. I would love to know I don't think you can equate baseball to blue collar teams. I don't think.
No, I'm with you. By the way, Zeus came through for us. The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas.
There you go.
I knew there was. I was. Yeah. You had the hard part. I had the stars part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell him Large Marsh sent me. Gator. Do you remember that line? I know, Marsh, you don't.
I remember. I don't remember what it's from.
Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee Herman, yes.
Yeah. Tell him Large Marge sent me.
Do we want to do a spoiler alert?
No.
I don't think we can.
No.
No, I don't think we can. Nope.
Because
we've gone this far. No, we're not.
Okay. I was over here, having a few issues. And Anthony just kept the feet moving. He didn't even acknowledge what I was doing.
Yeah, I knew exactly what you're doing. I'm not.
You didn't acknowledge it.
You know what?
You didn't.
We made a commitment to the people. We made a promise to the people, and I'm not going to go back on that now. All right.
314 says we need an update. That's just one person, though.
Listen, man.
You get your update tomorrow at 2:00.
That is. You are brutal.
I'm not being brutal.
You are.
Are you kidding me?
You are heartless.
Listen to me. Somebody's on 270 right now and they're stuck in traffic and they're listening to us and they're thinking, all I want to do is get home and watch my team. and then I ruin it for them? No, I'm not going to. No, I refuse.
Can we give it?
No. We can't give anything.
Can we say spoiler alert?
No.
And then you have the option to turn.
Do we want people to turn off the radio?
No, just turn it down.
No.
Turn it.
I will not. I refuse. No.
Oh, my gosh.
No.
618. This is a great point. If you can text, you can look up the score.
That's true, too.
True. That is true.
That's true, too. You don't need us. This isn't 1980.
Some call me
had blue-collar baseball teams.
Right.
Some call me Pat. Texted in, we just stepped back into the 1950s. We'll wait for tomorrow's paper.
Yes. I'm not going to do that to the great people here in St. Louis that just want to wait to watch the game. No, I'm not going to do that. You know what ticks me off? When I'm coaching one of the kids and I'm like, I'm just going to avoid everything. I'll go home and after the kids go down.
Something?
And one of my friends is like, did you see such and such? And I just want to text them, I am going to hurt you next time I see you.
314 says, I'm on 270 stuck in traffic. I want to know who won.
No. I'm sorry. No.
That's Anthony Stalter.
I'm going to stay disciplined on this, okay?
314 says, Anthony is a man of the people.
Thank you.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. You're welcome. I'm not going to do that to the people. Man. All right? Which Super Bowl windows are opening and closing in the NFL? Which ones will never open? Jets, Browns. That's next on 101 ESPN.
You want to know why betting the winter games on FanDuel makes sense? From game lines to medal counts to finding your angle on the events you care about most, FanDuel gives you more ways to stay connected to the action the winter games are on, and there is no better way to follow them than with a bet from FanDuel. You got curling matches that start off slow, and somehow they get tense really fast. Speed skating, guys and gals flying around, decided by inches. And hockey games, they feel different from the opening faceoff, and even if it goes down to the wire, and so much more. You got bobsledding, luge. The snowboarding is outstanding. Guys and gals flying through there. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. FanDuel, where you can play your game. You must be 21 plus and present in Missouri. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Again, that's FanDuel.com/local to get started. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's Fast on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis. I'm Anthony Stalter. What are you laughing at, Carey?
I was reading the text. Barclays Bone said, "Don't spoil it. I'm recording it on my VCR."
You got it.
Took you a second.
It is. I was wondering why Carey laughed, but then I got it. Yeah. Somebody in the snake pit under the arches said, "I'm watching the game right now, and the second just ended. I appreciate Sir Anthony Stalter knighted today." Man of the people, no, I just messed up my comment. I haven't read your all his chats, thank God. Literally just that one warning chat I read, unbelievably. All right. Which Super Bowl windows are opening and closing in the National Football League? I think that this is pretty easy to define.
So when you say closing, it means they have previously had one open, or because we can't be. I mean, we can scratch.
And it's still, but it's still opening.
Off.
Or I'm sorry, it's still open though.
But it could be closing.
Like the Chiefs, that window's still open, but it is closing.
Okay.
That's how I would look at that. Doesn't mean it won't pop open again at some point.
Do you feel the Philadelphia Eagles are in that conversation as well?
I gotta admit, it did pop into my head, but they're so talented.
Shame on you, man. I was just saying, shame on you.
Shame on me.
You've been trying to write off Nick Sirianni for it feels like a decade.
He's been trying to write himself off.
No, he hasn't.
I hopped on his bandwagon last year. What'd he do? He took both of us right off the cliff.
I mean, you got to figure out the OC situation. Again, you know how much work this man has done year after year finding a new OC? You know how tough that is, Anthony?
It's probably incredibly difficult.
It's very difficult.
Part of the job, though, if you're not gonna call the plays. By the way, what's Sirianni? Offense, defense, special teams? I forget.
He's offense.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's why he knows when it's not working well, he gets rid of the guys quickly.
Yeah. If you're going to be the CEO, if you're going to be that sort of coach, you're going to have to be dealing with that.
Yeah.
Or if you're a defensive guy, you're going to have to be dealing with that. You were all about the defensive guy this year. And granted, they wanted to have two coaches on the defensive side to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What's the first thing that Mike McDonald, after winning the Super Bowl, he's going to have to deal with now?
Hiring an OC.
Exactly.
Yeah, they still got the defense there.
So sorry about it.
Sam Darnold.
Sirianni.
K9.
Do your job, Sirianni.
All right.
Anyways, I'd still say it's open for the Eagles.
Okay. Do you think the Lions window is open? They took a terrible step back last year.
Yes, I think it's still open.
That was disappointing to watch. Because pretty much everybody was still there.
Though, right? Case in point.
Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator gone.
But that's still one of the best offenses in the league.
Can we say that, though?
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't with the OC not there. They weren't the same without Ben Johnson.
They weren't the same, no. But where did they finish points-wise? And I don't know off the top of my head, so maybe I'll look like a fool here. But
they were plus 68. Different point differential?
No. I'm talking about points scored.
Points scored. They scored 488 in terms of where that is for.
Yeah, where does that rank? Where did that rank last year?
3rd, 4th, 5th.
Okay, so that's still a top-tier offense.
Yeah, 5th.
Okay, 5th. So, yes, I would say that offense is still great. They were snake bit defensively. The injuries started piling up again, second year in a row. They get a little better depth. Lions are fine. I think the window is still open for the Lions.
I don't think any teams have a window closed. What about you, Marshy?
Jets, Browns, Falcons.
Well, they were never open. Yeah, that's why I asked before the segment. I said, when the segment started, I said, are we talking about organizations that are open now and potentially closing? Because the Jets and the Browns, they are never open. Falcons, I mean.
Well, closed, right? You asked what the windows are closed. Arizona Cardinals, Saints, Falcons. I'll give you one that's closing. You want one? Washington Commanders is closing.
Oh, you're Marshy.
Okay, so I came across
GM sucks. Dan Quinn can only win for 1 year.
Who's their quarterback?
Jane Daniels.
Okay.
Who got hurt last year.
Yeah. The way the window's closed.
When Jane Daniels was Josh Allen 2 years ago, they were fine. When he wasn't, sunk to the
broke his arm.
Sunk to third place.
And damn near his leg.
I'm just saying, man.
I don't.
Who's going to let the defense isn't good enough?
That's why you have the draft and free agency.
And how'd they do last year in that? They got Debo Samuel, an offensive player, and said, "We're done. We cool." That's what they said.
They lost Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson. Traded him away.
Don't piss me off, Gary. We're off a little earlier today. I've been in a good mood. Don't piss me off, just like I'm pissing off Marsh. Marsh, go ahead. I won't interrupt you. Go ahead, bud.
All right. Well, I found a graphic on X of all of the teams in the NFL, and it's ML Football on X, and they ranked every team based on tiers of their Super Bowl window. So you have open, closing, close, not close, and permanent hell. So there's a few teams on here where I'm like, interesting. So I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Open is the Pats, 49ers, Seahawks, Packers, Jags, Broncos, Bears, and the Bengals. Their Super Bowl window, according to this graphic, is open. Is there any team in that group where you're like, I don't really know about that one?
I like the Bears window being open.
Oh, yeah.
I like that one. I really like that one. Patriots, I don't know that one. I know they made it to the Super Bowl. Let me see you do it against teams that can actually play football this year.
Right. I'm with you on that.
Then we'll talk.
Now, Marsh, I'm sorry. I tried to look for you. You didn't have the link.
I didn't see it either.
What name those teams again?
All right, so you have the Pats, the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Packers, the Jags, Broncos, Bengals, and the Bears.
For open?
These are the teams, according to this graphic, and these tiers that this account believes that are open.
No, Cincinnati's is not.
So that was the one team that stuck out to me. Where I'm like, I don't know about that.
Right.
They're having problems even making the playoffs.
Yeah. You know why it's open? Because they can't close the window. And it's freezing. It's winter. Like that sums up the Bengals. Is it open? Yeah, but not because of anything good.
Yeah.
Now, it's freezing outside. They can't close the damn window.
I wrote 3 teams down. The Bengals were one of them because I was trying to see which teams. I wrote down the Jags because I don't necessarily know. I know they made the playoff. I don't know that window is open necessarily. I think Daniel Jones, I don't know what he's going to be. I don't know when he's going to be healthy. I don't know. But the Colts were a damn good football team. The Houston Texans were a C.J. Stroud one less fumble away or one less interception away from probably being in the Super Bowl. Like they are, and they're both in that division. And so for me, it's hard to say that the Jags don't get me wrong, I love what the Jags did this year, but I don't know that window is open just yet.
Yeah,
I feel like they're still a season away. They're kind of because they could easily miss the playoffs next year, and I would not be surprised at all because you're looking at the Baltimore Ravens probably being better. You're looking at the Kansas City Chiefs potentially being better. We don't know what Patrick Mahomes' health situation is. But those are 2 teams that you could easily see, and the Jags could easily lose the division. So then you have to make it as a wild card. I'm not saying that the Jags window is open.
So teams where
I think it is.
Teams where the window is closing, and I don't know if I necessarily agree with this, but maybe there's a case to be made. Bills, Ravens, Lions, Chiefs, Buccaneers, Chargers, Rams, Eagles, Texans.
I don't agree with any of those.
They're saying they're closed?
They're closing.
No, the Texans aren't closing.
Hell no.
We have to we got to pump the brakes here when it comes to announcing C.J. Stroud's career being over.
Right.
I know he struggled.
He stunk. No.
He was terrible in Pittsburgh.
He didn't struggle.
He was terrible in New England.
He might have had one of the worst stretches of a playoff quarterback. I think he turned the ball over 10 times in 2 games.
You know who was second? You know who was second worst?
Who?
Drake May.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And why did they get there? They caught enough breaks. Their defense was excellent. He made enough plays. There wasn't that much difference between C.J. Stroud and May that day. It was just May made a couple of plays.
I think any team in the closing window could make a deep run next year. I don't really agree with any of those. 4 teams whose windows are closed. Washington Commanders.
Thank you.
Dallas Cowboys, my Minnesota Vikings, and Carey's Pittsburgh Steelers. It's closed.
Pittsburgh makes the playoffs every year. You know, I can't say that they're closed. Yeah. I'm going to pay you that respect, CD.
Two more categories here. This next one is they're not close at all. Panthers, Saints, Raiders, Titans, Colts, who you just mentioned earlier, and the Arizona Cardinals.
So not close at all?
Not close.
The Panthers just went to the playoffs, albeit in the worst division in ever. They also played the Rams pretty tough in that game. I think Carolina is better than what, like we throw them in the category of like Tulane in college football. Like you don't belong here. And there is some truth to that, but I don't think Carolina is hopeless. Those other teams you mentioned, Arizona certainly. Indy I wouldn't put in that category. I mean, the Colts were one of the best teams in football for the first 2 months of the season.
Right. Final one, Anthony, this one may sting.
No, it's not.
Permanent hell.
Yeah.
The New York Jets.
Yep.
The New York Giants.
Yep.
The Miami Dolphins.
Sure.
The Cleveland Browns.
No doubt.
Of course.
And there's one team we have not mentioned yet.
Yeah.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I can't disagree with that.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. Hey, you learn to live with
I
it.
asked you a question yesterday if the Atlanta Falcons had the opportunity to not have any salary cap.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And just have as many championships as they wanted. Would you take it?
Let me think on that. Biggest question of the day is next on 101 ESPN. I love working with my guy, Stewie. If I ever have a question about a house in the area, a pre-approval letter, anything I'm dealing with when it comes to loans, finances, things like that, Stewie's my guy, and he needs to be your guy too. And I highly recommend him. We tell you stories all the time, Jamie and I do. Jamie purchased a home and used Stewie to make sure that he got to the closing table and did so in a way that made everything easy for Jamie. And Jamie has a bunch of different jobs. He's got a bunch of different tax forms and everything. Stewie handled all that. Imagine having an expert when it comes to debt consolidation or home loans or refi. It's great to be in the know and have knowledge of certain things, but if you don't work in that industry and you got a family and everything you're trying to provide for, you need some help. And Stewie is that guy. He is that help. So give him a call on his personal cell phone number, 314-324-4440. Again, 314-324-4440. That's his personal cell phone number. Same one that I use to call him when I have questions. And he'll help you. He'll help you save some money up front when it comes to buying a home. He'll help put you in a better situation for if you do buy a home and you want to have some extra cash to maybe redo or remodel some things, when you first move in. Debt consolidation, keeping you up at night, or debt overall, keeping you up at night. Talk to him about consolidating. He's great. I can't recommend him enough. Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. If you miss that phone number, you can always Google the Bagel Loan.
NMLS number 226715.
Fast Lane's biggest question of the day. Presented by Banner Construction, the experts in James Hardy siding.
5:06, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. With Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with the biggest question of the day.
All right, before I ask said question, I want to play some audio from Ali Marmol. He was on TMA earlier this morning, and he was discussing the right way or how to evaluate this upcoming season. So take a listen.
I think it's a combination of things. Like, we talk about it internally all the time. We're never going to show up to the field not trying to win. And you have to measure success off of how that's going, okay? But at the same time, you're closely monitoring the progress of each player. Because if you're really trying to build this up and create a core that you can run with, then add pieces to contend, you need to know who those are. So there's going to be times where we're playing a guy, even when he's struggling, to find out a little more about at the expense of that day. But damn it, we're going to try every day to win. And that's what St. Louis expects. But by measuring both, we'll get to that point where we're trying to get to much quicker. So it'll be a good balance, but that's the way I'm looking at it at the moment.
So Ali Marmol, you mentioned that this season will be about getting the young players chances to play, even if it comes at the expense of that particular day or game, and that the Cardinals need to know basically who they have in their core moving forward. My question is, who or what was preventing the Cardinals from having a true runway season in 2025 to get those questions answered?
I would say the weird, like, Mo's final year, Bloom is kind of taking over that whole dynamic. I think that really was the only thing that was holding them back.
I disagree. I mean, that
I guess
as
the contract, the other contracts.
There you go. The players, the guys that they had playing, like, you had to play Brendan Donovan every day, and you wanted to. You had to play Nolan Arenado every day, whether you wanted to or not. You had to play Wilson Contreras every day. And now those three players are no longer on your roster, and so now you freed up three positions to allow younger players to actually play every day. Mm-hmm. You're not playing every day at second base if Brendan Donovan is there. You're not playing every day at first base if Wilson Contreras, and you're not playing every day at third base if Nolan Arenado is there. It's not happening. So
quit asking.
So that was what prevented this opportunity that is before us now. Mm-hmm. As long as those players were on the roster, you were not going to ever be able to have this opportunity, which is why Chaim Bloom made it a priority to get the best assets he could get in return for those players and give the opportunities. And if I'm not mistaken, he brought back pitchers, a lot of pitching.
Yeah.
In those trades. Not position players that are going to once again crowd the room for the players that you want to see now. Mm-hmm. Like, you brought back guys that either are a few years off, you have to spend some time in the minors, or pitching that will not block your current roster of younger players that you need to know who they are. And that's essentially what Ali was saying. We got guys we need to know what they are, who they are, and the only way to get experience is by doing, not by watching.
Marsh, if I'm reading you right, mm-hmm. and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm reading you right, you are kind of suggesting, like, what prevented them from actually starting last year? Well, like getting ahead of this a little bit more.
Well, yeah. Were we not calling it a runway season? That's what everybody was calling it. That's why so many people hate that word now, because we were under the impression that last year was a runway season, but we really didn't get any answers.
Sure.
So was it the winning because they had a good May? Oh, hey, like Jordan Walker, he's going to have to not play as many games now. Mm-hmm. You know, this player is not going to play as many games now because we're winning in May, and now we actually have a shot to maybe make the playoffs. So everything we told you at the beginning of the year about the runway and all that stuff, well, we're just going to dial it back a little bit.
What players are you talking about? Because I think it's a really good point, and it leans a little bit more skeptical than anything, which is fine. But moving forward, it's like, okay, if last year was supposed to be a runway year, what's the difference? So then, what's the difference between last year and this year? So let's break it down by player.
Okay.
So which one? Who are you talking about?
Well, let's start with Jordan Walker, right?
Sure.
The ups and downs and whatnot, and we were questioning, like, why is he not playing at times throughout the season? So we can start with Jordan Walker. For one,
Yeah. Okay, so that would be a Wilson Contreras, Alec Burleson, Brendan Donovan thing. Because those are the players that kind of squeezed him out. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Contreras is gone. Burleson's now at first. Donovan's gone. Boom. Now you have. They may have, some of these players that you either had just mentioned or will mention, I think had a runway, but it wasn't open. It wasn't clear.
Right. So that doesn't make any sense to me.
So then last year wasn't a runway season.
No, it wasn't.
We were lied to.
Yes. Or maybe
now I feel awful.
Or maybe there was a shift.
I feel awful about life.
I wonder if there was a shift when they started winning ball games.
I don't think they won enough ball games to.
They had a heck of a May.
Yeah, heck of a May. How was their April, June, July, August?
Not great, Carey. Okay. Thanks.
I couldn't remember, Anthony.
So what you're saying is they could have played some of these players a lot more. Yeah, I don't know. I can't speak to the development process of either the team or the player. You know, maybe it's a situation where some of the players just weren't doing what they needed to do to show Ollie that they deserve more time. I have no idea.
Well, let's take that though. Let's say they're not doing. They're not essentially producing at the clip that we want them to.
Mm-hmm.
But now this season, it doesn't matter.
It does.
There's no pressure. There's no pressure this season because you don't have Sonny Gray, you don't have Nolan Arenado, you don't have Wilson Contreras. There's an expectation when those players signed here, to play for a championship. So as a front office member, as a coach, as a general manager, Pobo, Bill DeWitt the second, you owed it to a degree to those players to try to put out the best players on the field with them, because when they signed here, that was what they were told.
For sure.
We're going to compete for championships. And then you quickly realize, we're not good enough to compete for championships. You know what? Let us move you to a place where you have a better opportunity to win, and we have a better opportunity to see what we got. So I think that the notion of, we're going to have younger players, but we still want to win, whereas now it's like, we got younger players, man. We'll see how it goes. Right. That's me saying that. That will never be Ali Marmol saying that. That'll never be any Cardinal player saying that. They all, because I can tell you we're delusional. We are as athletes and coaches.
Oh, okay.
We are damn delusional. Don't, Anthony, I couldn't tell you how many times at Illinois we yelled Big Ten champs in the summertime.
Oh, geez, Carey.
We only did it one time, man, and that was the first time in 20 years, and it ain't happened since. So let me tell you.
Did you guys not try? Or
No, we tried hard as hell, man.
Yeah, I figured.
But break it down. National champs on 3.
1, 2, 3 national champs.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
Crazy.
You got to be, though.
Got to be. You have to be in order to make it to that level.
Yeah.
So,
how about
that's
the people
no knock
in the front
against them.
office?
They're delusional, too.
Well, okay, so Splashback Deuce does bring a good point to your comment there, Marsh, and maybe this will alleviate some of the frustration. Doesn't make it better, but...
Yeah.
Splashback Deuce says, sometimes things don't go according to plan. Cardinals said runway. Army said whatever was over.
Yeah.
Neither have crystal balls.
No, they don't.
You're right. They're right. So sometimes it would be...
Well, then why say anything?
Because you think you have a plan.
Just let it play out.
You think you have a plan. Well, because then we complain that you're not saying anything.
That's fair, too. That's fair, too.
What are we really frustrated about?
Losing.
Yes. And there's never going to be an explanation for losing. There's never going to be anything that anybody says outside of, I fast laned up. Plan didn't go accordingly. And then what do we say what do we say to counter that? Well, then you should be fired. So we're ticked off. We're ticked off because of the losing. A couple of years it might be different. Now you got a lockout.
Yeah.
You got a lockout coming. Because neither the players or the owners give a crap about the fans. But maybe in 4 or 5 years, we can enjoy some Cardinals baseball again.
Man, that's a long time.
Let's go Cards.
Let's go Birds.
Yeah.
Birds. Joe Vitale will join us next on 101 ESPN.
talking everything St. Louis Blues as we head into the Blues booth on 101 ESPN. Presented by Boardwalk Hardwood Floors. Find your perfect new floor at boardwalkhardwood.com.
It's Fast 10 on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Got our guy Joe Vitale on the line right now via the Collier and Thompson phone line. What's up, Joe?
USA.
USA. USA.
Yeah.
How you doing?
We're doing great, man. These Olympic hockey games have been incredible. Some people were texting us and saying, this has kind of been lackluster thus far. Can't say that after today, Joe.
Oh, brother, it's been what a fun day, and I think you needed it. It looked like Canada was going to pull that one out. It seems like the Czechs went up and things kind of stayed stagnant for a while and found the equalizer. Then Czech pulled ahead again, and it's just that old cream comes to the top eventually. I think all the better teams won today, Stalt, which is the good thing, right? I mean, you'd love to see upsets, especially if it's not your country you're rooting for. I think everyone across the world was hoping that Czechs would have upset Canada today. And if they would have, I mean, if you're Finland, if you're U.S., right, if you're Slovakia, you're thinking, oh, my gosh, this could be the year we win gold. So everyone around the world outside of the Canadian market there is thinking, let's have this upset happen. I think for the game, for the championship, when it comes to that, I think that's the theater, right? That's the excitement. If it's U.S., Canada, whatever it's going to be, right? You're so excited about the potential of what's going to happen. And I think, like I said, I think all the best teams advancing. So that's really all you want at this stage of the game.
Joey, we were watching the highlights of that game versus Canada, and Czechia had 6 men on the ice. Like how?
Actually,
like
they
8. They were all like it's not by the boards. They weren't coming into the game. It wasn't a line change. They were literally seemed like in front of the net, and then they get the odd man rush going the other way. How in the hell did they miss that?
It's funny, Carey. I think the question. I know people say, how do they miss that? I think the question is, how do they get as much right? Because when you're on the ice and you're playing that game, I understand, as fans, we see so much, right? We have the broad view. I always love it when fans, get down to ice level or they have, glass seats. They always say the same thing. The game is happening so fast. Like, you think the game is so much slower up top, and you see plays develop up top, but down there it's like you'll do your head's doing circus routines because you can't keep up. Now the refs have the same game. That's what they're watching. So I know I kind of me and Curbs go back and forth on this sometimes because he wants the call to get right. We all do, but I remember playing that game, and it is so crazy down there, and so much is happening. They have to watch so much, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, how many in football, Carey? How many officials are on the field at one time?
I believe 7, 6 or 7. 7.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so and there's more players. I get it. It's a bigger field, but hockey, it's there's only the 4, and there's just so much going on. There's stuff going on behind the play. So yeah, they certainly should have gotten that right. I'm not making any excuses. But it actually is amazing when you get down to ice level with all the stick infractions and all the things that go wrong. I actually think they get the majority right. But again, that's kind of sports, right? It's part of the human error. That's my rooster in the background.
That sounded like a rooster, and we all looked at each other in the studio.
He's an ass. He attacks. He's something else. I come out to feed the chickens in the morning. He comes at me. I gave him a boot about a week ago. And since then, we've been kind of squaring off, but and he's not even really protecting the hens. We had another little hen. Shut up. We had another little hen get attacked by a hawk the other day. I'm like, you're not even doing your job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I forget what we were talking about.
Is the hen? Do they all have names?
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, that's the only way we keep them straight.
Yeah.
Little Nuggy, she's our little Silky. She got attacked by a hawk the other day, but luckily my son Bodie, he heard it in time and went out and shooed the hawk away. But yeah, we got Rolo, Butterscotch, we got Lightning McQueen. They're the whole gang. The whole gang.
Nice. If it was up to my son, it'd be the whole cast from Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, we had a lot of we had a lot of cars.
Yeah.
We had a lot of Frozen characters.
Nice.
You know, these Hawks, they pick them apart left and right.
Oh, my goodness.
Jeez.
We
It makes it worse if you name it.
Yeah, we got a little bit of an attachment issue. One of my sons, he gets really attached to them. They continue to get lost and die. He's working on it. It's a process.
Yeah, sure. He's you know
Circle
what?
of life.
Yeah, learn about the circle of life for sure.
Okay.
Joe Vitale joins us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. So, Joe, when I was growing up, I fell in love with football in large part because I loved how the teams are so different. You know, one team loved to pass, another team played great defense, you know, et cetera. When you're watching these hockey games, these Olympic hockey games, do you pick up on the nuances of the identities of each team? And if so, what has been, outside of USA and Canada, what's been your kind of favorite identity to watch?
You know, I love the way Sweden plays. You know, I think that I love the way the Swedes really just approach the game. You know, I was talking to Philip Broberg about it because, you know, Philip Broberg, he made the team mostly because of his skating ability. And I talked to Alexander Steen about it right after the decision was made. He said just the way he skates, and not only that, but his endurance. You know, I asked Philip Broberg to follow that up a couple of days later after I had that conversation with Alex. I said, hey, well, you know, you got picked for your speed, you got picked for your endurance. What's everyone doing in Sweden? And you know, they have a lot of fun, cool things they're doing. They have cross-country skiers that train hockey players for the endurance, for the stride. You look at the way all the Swedes skate, it just seems so effortless, especially the defensemen, whether it be Carlson, I mean, across the board. And, you know, I love their style because they just look to make plays. Like, they're hockey players. I love their approach to the game in the off-season. Youth hockey, mostly in Sweden. They get off the ice. They stay off the ice. They play handball. They play soccer, right? They're doing all other kind of sports, which really, at the end of the day, it helps your hockey IQ, the way you envision and see the game happening. So I think that they're doing a lot of great things over there. I know that there's a couple projected really high Swedes up in this upcoming draft, including Otto Stenberg's brother. So, like I said, they're doing a lot of wonderful things, the skill development, off-season, spend time away from the rink to develop other skills, strength and conditioning. And like Philip said, you know, having cross-country skiers to work on endurance for the stride. They're a fun team to watch. I think they've been kind of up and down, a little streaky throughout this tournament so far. But, you know, like I said, I really have enjoyed them.
Joey, last question for me. I'm impressed. I am extremely impressed by the women's hockey team. What have you seen from them? They are dominant. They are dominating faces, as we like to say.
They are. It's so fun. I mean, my daughter plays hockey here in St. Louis for the Lady Blues. You know, it's wonderful for the game. You know, starting with the Cami Granados. You know, Tony Granato's sister. You know, that was that era of hockey. You look at what Jinsey Dunn and Joy Dunn, all the Dunns have done from St. Louis. I don't know what to say. Like, it's fun coaching girls. You know, and I think you see the professionalism, the approach, the attitude. The persistence, you know, just at the youth hockey level, they're just so eager to learn. They're just so eager to learn. Believe it or not, there's just such little drama within the girls' teams. They play hard for each other. I mean, there's a level of loyalty that girls have towards each other that I think is just, you know, to be fair, just I don't know if it's matched to the boys. I mean, there is just the care, the affection, the attention to detail towards each other. Like I said, there's a reason why mothers are so nurturing, and there's a reason why God put mothers in charge of babies because of that nurturing state in which they endure. And then part of the game is, you know, just pulling for each other. So it's been a wonderful story. I've loved watching it, loved following it. I think it's going to continue to grow the women's game, which, you know, you guys, obviously with the kids, it's, as you know, it's just, you just want to continue to see that. And, you know, just what the girls have done out of St. Louis here, or, you know, with Webster and the Dunns, and it's been really fun to watch. And like I said, I feel like everyone around the world, and not only in the USA, has been just rooting them and cheering them on.
Joe, we'll let you go. We know your hands are full, so good luck with the Hens and the Roosters and everything else you got going on there.
Hey, sounds good, boys. It's great catching up, and we'll be talking to you.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Joe. See you, bro. That's Joe Vitale here on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. All right, we got to wrap up the show because we're out a little earlier tonight. So we'll do 3 stars, things we learned, That's next on 101 ESPN. Carey, I know you've been on the Mentality program now for a couple of weeks, and I saw you eating healthy, and I know that you're probably heading to the gym right after this, and I know you're feeling great. You know, for me, I certainly feel good. Tomorrow I'm going to go down to Mentality, South County. I know you go to Chesterfield, but I'm going to talk to them about maybe upping my program a little bit, because that's the one thing they do. It's not just, hey, if you have low testosterone initially, they set you on a program, and they're constantly monitoring you, but they monitor you throughout the program to make sure that, hey, is this still working for you? If not, let's adjust some things, see how you feel, because your program is going to look different than mine. But the bottom line is, you and I both went in for the same reason. We're tired of the belly fat. We're tired of feeling down and at low energy all the time, and we want to feel young again.
Yeah, and they start by listening, right? They run real tests that they explain in layman's terms that you and I can understand, and anyone out there. They're not the low T bro clinic. Like, they really want to figure out what's going on with you, your body, your brain, and figure out how to get you to be the best version of yourself. And that's the part that I love. They just want you to be the best version of yourself, but they start by listening and, again, running those real labs and making sure that you're squared away with what's going on with you.
No doubt. And if you go right now, and you mentioned Anthony and Carey, all new patient labs will be covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250 right out of the gate. And maybe you can't remember both CD and I. Just remember 101 ESPN. And again, those new patient labs will be covered in your treatment plan. $250 in savings right out of the gate. Visit them at lowtusa.com. Again, that's lowtusa.com. Reclaim the old you, the younger you, with Mentality.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. We are off early today. One more segment before we get to some college hoops. UConn going up against Creighton. Pregame starts at 5:45. Tip-off is at 6. Once again, if you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our interviews and all of our shows there, and it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We'll wrap up the show next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or via the 101 ESPN mobile app powered by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. All the podcasts brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. Let's find out what everybody learned today. Marsh, what did you learn?
Man, I learned that Joe Vitale has roosters and hens. I had no idea.
I thought maybe it was a kid's toy.
I thought it was like another phone or something.
Yeah.
And that was like a text, the text ringtone or something.
It was a rooster. You could tell.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I mean,
it was clearly a rooster.
Clearly.
Yeah. Carey, what'd you learn?
I just learned that you think that Washington is done. You hate Jaden Daniels, and you just pretty much said it.
I don't hate Jaden Daniels.
You do. You said Washington Super Bowl. Pat, get the hell out of here. They're terrible.
Wow. Carey, when the Steelers hired Arthur Smith, what did I do?
Had a party.
I warned you.
You were excited.
I said
he was no longer an option for your team.
I've seen Artie the one-man party's handiwork. Okay. I have also seen Dan Quinn's work. So I know how this ends.
All roads lead to Atlanta.
Well, you speak from what you know. The thing that I learned today is that you guys are judgmental. I brought up how octopus probably not winning any beauty pageants down in the sea. Probably go to a dolphin or something. And you guys judge me for it.
You just hate certain animals, man.
I don't hate them.
You think they're ugly.
The octopus.
Isn't that kind of it's kind of ironic, though, because you're saying that we're judging, you're judging a sea creature based on its looks. Like, you have no idea how nice or how mean that octopus could be.
You are spot on, Marsh.
Yeah.
Marsh, I don't think you're getting the point.
Don't confuse him with facts.
We got 3 stars or what?
Yeah.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 stars of the day, presented by Circus Sports. No bet fees ever with the world's largest sports book, now at your fingertips in Illinois and Missouri.
All right, our 3rd star of the day goes out to Joe's Roosters.
Yeah, good call.
Yes.
Whatever their names are.
I think it was just one.
Well, wasn't there like Lightning McQueen?
I think those are the hens.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, anyways, 2nd star of the day goes out to Anthony's Discipline.
Thank you. Now, Joe ruined that, but...
He actually didn't. He just said USA, USA, USA. Then he talked about Canada, how the Canadian team, how well they finished.
Yeah, very true. Because we steered him.
No, he steered himself.
Okay, Carey, I'm trying to give us a little help. Give us a little praise. You want to continue to tear us down. Nothing I can do for the fast lane here.
I'm sorry.
And our 1st star of the day...
That you feel that way.
There it is. Okay.
Our 1st star of the day might never win a beauty pageant under the sea. At least in the eyes of one Anthony Stalter. But this thing is sure going to win our 1st star of the day, and that goes out to the ugly octopus.
According to Anthony Stalter.
3 hearts.
And you have none.
Just figuring that out now, Carey. We worked together long enough. Those things probably give out pretty good hugs, though, you know?
Probably.
Yeah.
3 hearts, hugs. Yeah. I think the octopus should now be the icon of Valentine's Day. Yeah.
See what you did there?
3 hearts.
A lot of arms.
A lot of arms. Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. You know what? I was thinking about it, though. When you think of the Detroit Red Wings, what do you think about? That's right, the octopus. Maybe we should be a little bit harsher on the octopus. You know?
Go. See?
Anthony,
Now Marsh is coming
it
around.
Took me a while, but maybe you're on to something, Anthony.
Coming around now. Absolutely. Yeah. How the hell did you get those octopus into the stadium?
I don't know. That's a great question.
What do you
have to
do?
stuff that in your pants.
If you don't, if you don't throw it on the ice,
And what do they do once they collect the octopus? Octopi.
I have no clue. You would have to ask someone that has better. That's a Jamie question, probably. Oh
Yeah, he would
or
probably know.
Joey probably does know.
That's true.
We ask Joey next week.
Joey's very inquisitive.
Yeah.
He definitely did some research into how the hell are you getting this in here, or is it an inside job? Do they hand it to you when you get into the stadium?
I doubt it.
Do you know?
I don't, though. No.
You don't know?
No, it's a fair criticism.
You throw it out, we collect it, we'll keep it here.
Mm-hmm.
When you come back, we got one for you. Inside job.
Not a bad thought, Carey.
Yeah.
Not a bad thought.
The hell you walking into a stadium with an octopus.
Mm-hmm.
Or catfish. Like people in Nashville, they have the catfish that they throw on. You know?
That's probably easier.
Still, it's a fish. I mean, you just don't see this in other
around with that
sports.
smelling like that?
Yeah. Ugh. You put that fish in the car.
Yeah.
Drove all the way to the stadium.
Probably 20, 30 minutes.
Easily.
Easy.
If you don't throw it, now you got to drive that, drive back home? Or you're probably putting it in a trash can on the way out?
No, you're keeping it.
I don't know, man. You're not going to get that fish smell out of that car.
Ever.
No.
He's probably in a cooler, though. I would assume.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
On the way there.
Yeah,
But
that's
then
true.
do you take it back? Because leaving the game, you traffic.
Right.
You riding with that thing in your car, man?
No, I'm not. I'm not even taking it.
These are questions we need to know.
No chance, man. UConn versus Creighton. Pregame at 5:45. Tip-off at 6 o'clock. We got some college basketball for you. Over the weekend, St. John's versus... Wait, we're just a Creighton Blue Jays having station. We got Creighton's next 2 games. Wow. In fact, Houston, Arizona, and then we got some NBA as well. Knicks, Rockets, Warriors, Nuggets. But coming up next, UConn versus Creighton. We'll be back tomorrow, too. See you.
It's a presentation of Westwood One Sports.
The best in college basketball is on Westwood One, your home for NCAA March Madness.
In the tie, it's Edney. 3 seconds, 2. Edney across midcourt. Can he get the shot away? It's up. It's good. UCLA wins.
We're down to 3. We're down to 2. We're down to 1. That's it. We've said it before, and we'll say it again. The Gators are national champions.
Jesperson from midcourt lets it fly. It is good. He baked it home. Jesperson has won it for Northern Iowa.
5 seconds to Sharp. Top of the key. Lost the dribble. He's got to pick it up. It's scooped up by Condon. Condon secures it, and Florida found a way. From 12 down to the school's third national championship in men's basketball. The Florida Gators are the national champions once again.
Now, let's head to the arena for Westwood One's coverage of NCAA basketball.
We welcome you to Gamble Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut, as we turn for home, as they say. Down the stretch we come in the Big East regular season. Tonight, the number 5 UConn Huskies hosting the Creighton Blue Jays in association with Learfield. College basketball on Westwood One is presented by Progressive Commercial Insurance. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. Hi, everybody. Along with former Providence College head coach Tim Welsh, I'm Scott Graham. Brad Heller will join us shortly from our Westwood One studios. Well, Tim, here in Storrs, 24-2 and trying for a number 1 seed. It's become kind of commonplace. And in talking to Dan Hurley today, he said you'd be amazed at how many people are unhappy with how things have gone so far this year.
Well, not that many people are unhappy, but Danny likes to play that card, and it's worked well for him since he's been at UConn. The old chip on his shoulder type thing. You know, the guy who was drafted 199 in the draft, the guy, the old high school coach in him says, it's us against the world. And, you know, the other night after the Georgetown game, he's like, I've got some background in this stuff. I know how to win. So it's always interesting to see how Danny kind of takes the year, the roadmap of the season, and the ebbs and flows of it. But one thing is common. He's got a really good basketball team, and it's proven it all season long.
And Creighton is not the Creighton that you're used to seeing. 10 years in a row winning 20 games. Coming to this one at 13-13 and in danger of not making any postseason.
Yeah, Greg McDermott, this is not what we're used to seeing from his team. The talent is not where